Morning, folks. How are we doing? Back here again already. Surprisingly quick, actually, for me. I didn't think I'd be doing another stream this quickly. I thought the LolCowLive was going to be a little bit away. I thought it was going to take a couple weeks probably until we saw it, even though they had filmed it, just because of all the drama that happened already with it. But apparently not. We're here already, guys. How are we doing? I'll say hi to everyone who's in early. Western Supreme Leader, Songanada, Channel, Len K, Helika, Tyrone, Donna, Draven, Sarah, Sailor Moon, Unlimited, other people, Silver, Sunlight, Fireproof, Luna. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? 10 p.m. Yeah, no Luna, but I always say morning. Urgakan, Hunter, Fink, Sidang, Adam. How are we doing? So, it was a hilarious disaster. Well, that is unfortunate. Yeah, I've seen a couple of grumbles already from people that they don't seem overly happy with it. It's kind of unfortunate. I was going to say, well, guys, try and remember this is only the first episode of it, but I guess technically this is the third episode of it, actually, because we had the two back when it was LolCow podcast, and then those disappeared, and then I think we're still meant to get maybe one of them. They were able to get one of them, and they might play it. They said they might have to edit it, and then they'll put it up, but I'm not 100% sure. Coolbean, Yamoya, Hunter, Kangaroo, Coolbeans, Duncan, everyone, hello, how are you doing? So yeah, not going to be super long one. Tonight, I want to get into it, have a watch, and then that's probably going to be it. Who the heck is Tommy C? Tommy C is someone I don't know a huge amount about. I know he's a commentary guy, but I wasn't really sure. You don't remember me? Adam, sorry, I don't remember anyone. Sorry, you all blur together for me. Bent over. Tommy C is some commentary guy. I was surprised when I saw him put with the LolCows. I thought it was meant to be like a host, but I guess we'll see how it's kind of portrayed during this. I guess we're just going to go straight and get at least set up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keemstar.
It is his
name.
And
I had a dream.
You had a dream.
I had a dream of...
Okay, fantastic. So we're straight into it. Keemstar, obviously, is the main finance guy behind it. I'm kind of curious, is this the Marvels review? Unfortunately, not yet. I just kind of been busy today. Busier than I wanted to be today. I saw this coming, and I was like, do you know what? Why not? We'll just quickly go in. Don't see also filled a similar role with the Beta podcast. I never watched Beta podcast. I think it was before my time, before I really cared about online commentary, community, drama kind of stuff. It was a couple of years ago now. I think I heard Tommy talk about it. I think it was like 6 years ago, something like that, which is well before my time of being interested in any of this kind of stuff. So let's get for our first episode. I'm LolCow Overdosed. That's a thing. It is probably the biggest issue with it is going up against some like real strength, you know? Oh, I'm the guy who told you hypothetically. Oh no, Adam, I'm sorry. I did not remember that. Unfortunately, I don't. I'm not like Boogie. I don't like keep like a tally of everyone who slighted me. Sorry, mate. I don't know, it's just one of those ones where it's like, we've had the Muda explosion, which had Boogie obviously doing the very quotable, I never did, screaming over and over and over again. Fantastic. We had the documentary. Now we've got this, which they probably rushed out because they're just like, okay, look, we need to get this out ASAP, because obviously Boogie, he's at the top of his career right now. It's why it's called, like, Boogie Tonight Meltdown over Muda tweets. Girlfriend dumps him. Like... Come on. like, I saw that and I was just like, are we seriously just doing this? Are we straight into this? Okay, fantastic. Like, I like Keemstar, but it's what I said back when the whole, like, drama thing happened. There's just really no point listening to something that Keemstar says is 100% fact. Back even when, like, Brantley came out and said about the underage thing. When he's like, oh, you said she was 18. I immediately just said, no, let's not. This is just lame. This is boring. Why are we doing this? It's just not interesting. And I just said, it's probably just drama, trying to drum up hype for... like him trying to like market his videos he's doing with the kid behind the camera stuff. What is the point of doing this? So I just don't know. When we see that immediately, that kind of sours it. Unless Boogie actually says, oh yes, he actually did break up with me, this is where I'm announcing it. I highly doubt it's going to be the case. Let's get into it.
DSP,
hey Sleepy,
Wings of Redemption, and Boogie 2988 on a podcast, the LolCow podcast. The entire internet loved this idea, except for there was a huge problem. DSP, roll it.
I have no idea what he's speaking of. I have not spoken with Keem about being on any podcast ever.
He has not.
Nor will I. There is no LolCow.
Okay, I'm going to come clean because I came out ages ago when I said the LolCow podcast didn't really interest me but this was back when it was, like he said, meant to be DSP, Wings, and Boogie. And it's like, what is the point? What is the point? It is just going to be them sitting there holding hands, a bit of a cope session online. Everyone's mean, everyone bullies me, yada, 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 all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, okay, it's going to be a bit boring. Maybe one episode off it'll be fun, but if we go on to like further episodes, if we're just going to have that like every single episode, like what is the point of it? DSP, I have always said, I find to be kind of a boring LolCow because he's so incredibly repetitive. And people say Boogie's repetitive, Wings repetitive. everything like that. But DSP is so repetitive. Every single stream you go into, it is, I am broke. I am broke. Everything sucks. It's so hard for me, guys. You need to sub. Oh, there's not enough support here for this new game. Why should I play this new game if there's no support? It's that over and over. It's why I haven't watched a single thing DSP related in ages. If a new documentary comes out on him, I might watch it. But generally, I just don't see the point of sitting down and actually watching it. Haven't you all seen the DSP documentary by Turkey Tom? It's a banger. Haven't actually watched it yet. I saw something pop up saying like, I think it was Tommy C. maybe posted up saying like DSP's upset about the Turkey Tom doc. That's it. I never actually watched it, so I'll watch it after this, probably.
There's a history with Keemstar where, over the years, this guy's a horrible reputation.
I've never even watched this, actually.
He had been pretty nasty.
I've never sat down and actually watched the film. I've seen a couple clips from it, but I've never actually sat down and watched the whole Side Scrollers Pocket. I didn't even know. Apparently, Boogie did it, because I think it was this guy. I was watching them interview Clum, and this guy was talking about how he didn't really know who Boogie was, and after talking to him for their podcast, he's like, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see anything more about him. He's exhausting to talk to. I felt it was a whole pity thing, and I just couldn't be bothered. Ame the VTuber clears Zell about it. I saw that. I saw it was like a Japanese anime girl versus grumpy old man, something like that. And it was a comparison between like Ame, and I think they did one for Kiara as well, and how DSP tries to play games. And DSP is just so negative and whines constantly and doesn't understand anything, and it's just constantly shit at just everything. And you're just like, okay, well, what is this the point of this? what is just the point? It's so similar. I think years ago, I commented like once on a DSP stream. It was years and years ago, back when I started getting into LolCows. And it was like my first message, I think I got instantly banned. Instantly banned the first time I messaged, because he was playing like a fighting game and he was doing really bad, and I just said, this is painful to watch. I got instant banned. And that was it. That was like my full extent of ever really experiencing DSP, was saying one comment, getting instant banned, and be like, okay then.
I mean, a few times, tweets and things like that. So we have a little bit of bad blood there. The whole idea of me, him, and Wings being on a podcast that was going to have Keemstar's involvement, and I guess Boogie still has some resentment there where he's upset. I cost him and Wings $50,000.
I'd rather be miserable. I'd
Did
rather
he
sit
actually?
in the corner and cry all over myself for a living, which also cost me a $50K payday, which also cost Wings a $50K payday. So he screwed everybody up.
Did he, like, I don't know, has it actually come out in any way for, like, what the pay is for the LolCow? Because I remember mentioning that if they offer 50 grand for Wings and for Boogie for the LolCow podcast, and now they're doing LolCowLive, wouldn't it just make more sense for them to just, like, pay them the 50 grand again? He spent 100K on a mobile. I think I heard that, and I think he also was helping fund, the creators cards or something like that. I heard someone, I think it was Vito. He just got me a subscriber. So I think it was something like that. It's just like, wouldn't he still have got paid 50 grand? Because Boogie's kind of been very quiet about it. And of course, like, Boogie's not going to talk about it because he wants to. He's doing the DSP thing now. Where DSP would never have gone for this. I said that immediately. He was never going to go for that. Organ, thank you very much. And I never did. Why would Boogie work with Keem? Boogie knows Keem is like the only person that actually keeps him relevant. That is it. It's why when the DMs came out, he immediately went after Mudahar for like no fucking reason. But he was running defense for Keem, even though Keem was the one who actually said it. And I think is still saying it. I think the last time he said, I didn't misremember anything. So, like, even now, he is still running defense for Keem because he knows Keem is the only person who keeps him anyway relevant.
I don't like Keemstar. I don't like the content he puts out, nor do I like what he stands for as a person. I think that he's kind of a despicable person. I would never do business with this.
He would never do business with him.
So it didn't look like the show was ever gonna happen. However, I found out that behind the scenes,
I was about to say that I feel like this probably should have gone as the teaser, like the introduction thing. I think a lot of people want to just get straight into the action. Right now, it's just kind of like Keem kind of explaining the history of it, which is fine. But I think it probably should have been the teaser or like a separate video.
SP and his buddy were working with Wings of Redemption and Boogie to do this show without me.
We have been having discussions behind the scenes.
You're a bitch. He is a bitch.
Podcast, Boogie, Wings, and me. Okay. Here's the truth of the matter from my perspective. I had been talking to Boogie about this, last year, saying
I just think it is so funny because it is so DSP. Like I said, DSP would never have done it like with a 50 grand because DSP wants his fans to always think that he is bankrupt. He always wants to think he is going for a second bankruptcy because if he suddenly got 50 grand, his fans are less like, he's donating because they're like, bro, you just got 50 grand. Like, I know he'll immediately go like, well, 25 grand, that's going to fix my fridge, and 25 grand, that's going to back taxes. I know he'll just immediately just do that, but he doesn't want people to ever know when he actually gets a good windfall of money, because he always has to be the victim, he always has to be broke, which is what Boogie's doing now. So, like, I guess that's why Boogie's not talking about how much he actually got paid. But I just think it's so funny. DSP is just genuinely upset that he's like, I'll never work with Keem, and then instantly tries to steal Keem's idea. I like the balls on this guy. Have you ever checked their age? I never did. Why would he ask that? Why would he ask that? That wouldn't even make sense. People know I've been doing a video going back through, like, the documentary and, like, countering points and bringing up evidence and stuff like that, because I don't want to be just one of those ones where he's lying about that. I don't think that makes sense. So I want to have some actual evidence. Going back through just some podcasts, just when I was like walking Goober and stuff like that, you're just sitting listening to it and you're hearing things. Even from like a couple of years ago, you just listen to a podcast and you're hearing stuff and you're like, oh, I could use that. I could probably use that. Did you hear me say walk? Is that the problem with you? You heard me say walk. Well, it's not happening again. You've already had it. She's already had it. She's trying to lie to you. It's not happening. Not two. So I've already heard things. It's like, I could use this in the document, in my response video, so it could be timestamp and shit and all. It's, God, for fuck's sake, so annoying.
I don't want to do anything with Keem, but if you want to do something with me, just you and me.
I don't think so.
We could do our own show. We could just interview each other just for the benefit of each other's channels, whatever you would want to do.
So I called Boogie. I called Wings. We immediately kicked DSP off the show, but we needed a replacement. That's why we grabbed the legendary Tommy C. Roll it.
Yourself, you're a fucking liar. You're a piece of shit.
Why is it blurred out?
Journalist, you don't give it. You're a clout chasing just enough.
Is he doing this in Boogie's living room? These are like are these like the exact same arcade machines? They actually look like more like real like machines than the ones Boogie has. Is he just doing this in what the fuck? Is it like a requirement to be a LolCow in this podcast? You have to have arcade machines? Like, Wings is gonna get kicked off. He's gonna have to up his arcade machine game here.
YouTuber, you're no different than anybody else.
Yeah, Elena, exactly. The finger's blurred, but the cussing and the screaming isn't.
You don't give a rat's yes, and you can suck my.
So everything was
gotta
set,
mute the dick.
except for in our LolCow podcast.
I'm amazed they didn't blur out him grabbing his dick, because you think grabbing your dick is worse than like the flipping the finger.
Group chat, there was a random person that nobody seemed to know. He came from DSP, and this guy.
I've heard like this producer guy now he came from DSP. I've heard that like Wings invited him. I heard that Boogie invited him. I heard that he was always there. Like I've heard like I'm just assuming they're just trying to paint DSP as literally the worst person who's ever existed, and he has this weirdo.
I went and created all the LolCow podcast socials, and none of us had access to it.
And Keem has no idea who the.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Fireproof, yeah, actually, yeah.
And he's been producing the show for 3 months.
See, this is pretty much my experience with Tommy C. I've only watched some of his stuff recently to do with this podcast ever since he got announced, and also his coverage of like flamenco. Because obviously I watched a bunch of stuff when I was thinking about like covering flamenco. So I saw Tommy C talk about flamenco sometimes.
Pretty much.
I never listened to Beta
So
at
we
all
kicked that
before
guy
my time.
out. We made a new group. We made socials across the internet called LolCowLive, and we have our cows.
Yeah.
Tommy C, Wings of Redemption, Boogie 298.
I love every time they pick Boogie, they always pick like the fat picture of him. They don't show what he looks like now, but like Wings, they're showing him he's a pimp. He's out there with a lady. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe this is just their Twitter handle pictures. Is Tommy seeing the same level as LolCow as Boogie, or is he a minor irrelevant LolCow? I didn't really know he was a LolCow. I thought he was like a community guy. But to be fair, I think a lot of like drama community guys just seem to be also considered like LolCows. Milos, do not judge me. I'm slow. We all know I'm slow at working through stuff. Maybe it will. Maybe when he finally actually gets a girlfriend, I'll make a documentary on him. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like a lot of them seem to be also kind of LolCows. Like flamenco is like drama community. People consider Augie RC a LolCow apparently. Tipster people consider a LolCow. I don't know. I just think if you're in the drama sphere long enough, you know, it's like the stare into the abyss stares back. I think everyone just eventually seems to start being a LolCow. I'm sure some people consider like Keem a LolCow and like H3H3 a LolCow as well.
But we also have our farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, Muda, Some Ordinary Gamers, Turkey Tom, Nicholas Diorio. They're the...
I'm not sure if they're going to cover how this is meant to go, but for how this is meant to go is that I think these guys do their one today, okay? And I think like tomorrow or the day after, the farmers have their video, which is like them like reacting to it or something like that. Is flamenco not fat enough? Is that why? Yes. You caught me, okay? Boogie was right about me. I was watching him and I finally saw his face dogs and I was like, whoa! This isn't a 500-pound man. Get this guy off my screen. That's why I'll make one on Tipster. Tipster's fat. Apparently I'm allowed to make one on Tipster. I guess that's allowed.
B team.
I just don't know if the farmers one is going to be that funny to cover.
With the farmers. This whole show is something that you have never seen before on a podcast, and it's finally happening. It's happening now.
Yeah. Yeah, Sleepy. Tommy C isn't a lol case, one of the most respected in the comedy community. See, that's what I always thought he was just a comedy community guy. Like, that's all I really knew about him. I wouldn't have considered him like a lol guy. I thought he was here as like the host. I thought he was just here to wrangle them. But then they kind of made a point. It's like, well, they're separate farmers, you know? I thought that was Kiwi nomenclature. I don't think that. I think it's just like lol cow and farmers, you know? Like, maybe they wanted to call them the milkers, but the milkers sounded bad.
Gotta do this. We gotta line it up again. And on 3, when I say the word 3, clap into your mic.
Is it loud enough?
Can we all handle that?
I'm gonna turn up just a little bit because they're kind of whispering here for me.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Do it again.
Clap it, boys.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, look at that.
You guys line up? Think we're good?
He's so depressed.
All right. On.
I think it was Nicholas. Was it Nicholas Diorio edited this? I heard he did some editing for it, but I'm not sure if he just edited the teaser, which this was the teaser for it. I wonder if he did the whole thing because I know they're asking for people to like come forward to do the editing for them.
So when I say the word 3, I'm gonna clap to my microphone. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Did you?
Boogie out here living in slow motion.
Boogie, did you even attempt to clap?
He's so sad.
Yes, you can see it on the video if you don't believe me.
All right.
Okay. If you don't believe
That's good.
me.
Well, if you can see your hands, it's probably easy to line up.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're not using an app that does that, unfortunately, but maybe we'll figure it out next week. Maybe there's a way we can see.
I wonder what app they're using. I mean, like we all know me, I don't like talk to anyone online, so I have no idea about communication apps like whatsoever. So I don't know, but I thought that would make sense because they made it really sound weird because they're sitting going like, oh well, Wing sent across his file and it was like 25 gigabytes, and Boogie sent his and his was like 4 gigabytes, and Tommy sent his and it was 3 gigabytes. I was like, wouldn't you just like do it like this, but like record it? Also, it's called LolCowLive. I think they're missing a trick by not having this be live because they'd be getting super chats, they'd be getting people sending in questions, like hard hitting questions, and Tommy's the one who gets to pick the questions, and he tells them, you have to answer this. We got a $50 super chat, you have to answer this one. No wiggling out of it, he keeps pressing them until he answers it. But I think it's probably stipulated by one of them. I don't know who I could suggest might be the guy who might possibly want to do that. I think one of them probably is just like, well, I don't want to look bad, so I want this like pre-recorded. But like, because like he would have enough sway with Keem where he would think if I look really bad, I could tell Keem don't release that, and he thinks Keem would probably listen to him.
Each other.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is the way they want it, and this is the way we're going to do it.
That's sexy.
Well, I'm just saying there might be a way for us to backwards engineer still seeing me able to see each other.
I think
backwards engineer.
If this thing gets possible,
that's good noise.
We probably could do live.
It's not as big a deal, Boogie. Like we just do it the way they want to do it, and.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Imagine like Wings of Redemption is like. It's like the voice of reason. He's like the voice of reason.
I'm just saying maybe there's
Somebody
still a way
else is
we
gonna
can
edit
find.
it, so why do you care?
Yeah.
Yeah, why do
Well,
you
I'm just
care?
saying.
All you got to do is send the video.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Well, Tommy said I can't see you, so I'm like, well, maybe next week we'll find a way to where you can. That would be cool. That's all I'm saying.
It would be cool. So cool.
I don't know what's wrong with what I'm saying, but I was just saying.
These are very
maybe
wet noises.
Next week we can find a way.
Okay, let me
we
start
can
the show.
see each
All
other.
right, let me start the show.
I know what I'm saying is wrong. I know.
Yeah, and who I saw it pop up there. Yeah, Fireproof Flame. Yeah, Tommy and Boogie did have a fight before this for context because Boogie apparently come in and said, "You're not allowed to talk about this. We're not talking about this, and don't be a see you next Tuesday talking about my girlfriend." And apparently, like he didn't want to go off like talk about a certain YouTuber, and it's believed it was Mudahar because it's about the time the whole Mudahar meltdown drama happened thing. But during it, he said, like, don't, be overly mean about my girlfriend. And he came out and said, Tommy pretty much responded, well, how am I meant to know? What's the line? How am I meant to know what to mean is? And a Boogie's apparent response was, you're, like, apparently a talented comedian. I'm sure you'll be able to work it out. Which is, like, so vague. Because Tommy was upset because Keem had pretty much said, there's not meant to be rules. This is, like, they're meant to get pressed. They're meant to get angry. They're meant to shout at each other. you can't be putting on rules like these are off limits. Because Tommy C had already said, I'm not going to talk about any PDF file stuff with either of you, because I don't think, it's true about either. Both might be weird, but I don't think it's true about either. So I'm not going to cover that. Apparently, he said Wings kept arguing with him to try and explain himself. He said, well, don't worry, I'm not going to call you. We're fine. I'm not going to. Well, Wings like, no, but let me explain myself, and kept trying to bring it up over and over and over again. Argon, thank you very much for the super chat there. All three of these men have convinced a woman to sleep with them. Think on that. Do we know that? Argon, do we know? Like Tommy C, he has a child. But do we know that about the other two? Do we like can we like sit down and comfortably tell ourselves that they both definitely have? Like, honest to God, I always joke with like Amberlynn and like Foodie Beauty for ages. I always joked that if they had sex in front of me, I would still think they were a virgin, because I still just wouldn't believe it. I'm kind of like that with like Boogie, because of how much he talks about sex. It comes across like a 13-year-old boy trying to flex. Wings is unconfirmed. I also think Boogie's unconfirmed. I think Boogie's unconfirmed. How do we know? He's the one who claims that he doesn't hire hookers, he hires sugar babies, and they all decide to sleep with him out of the love of their heart afterwards, because they're not paid to do that.
Like $1 or $5.
Gotta roll LR and flour first. Exactly. Find the wet spot. No, so it's like I said, Boogie like says, oh, they're all sugar babies. They all sleep with me because I'm such a nice guy. And it's like, well, I'm sorry. Like, you're the one trying to tell me that you don't pay for sex. But all of these hot 19, 20-year-old women are all sleeping with you out of the goodness of their heart.
Never do.
You didn't say anything wrong. You're perfect.
You're perfect.
You're always perfect.
Well, far
I
from
have to
that.
get in the good. I have to get in the good.
Oh
mood.
my God. I forgot he said that at the end. Well, I'm far from that. Oh my Christ, that is so cringe.
I have to get in a jokey mood, so you can do this shit all you want. You're not ruining my day. Hey everybody, welcome to LolCowLive. I know you've been waiting for it. This is what was...
I'm actually going to say this because at the start, obviously go and support the original. I've posted a link to the original, to the video, and to LolCowLive itself. Obviously go support that, go subscribe, watch the original video, make sure to get them up to their 4,000 hours watch time. They probably don't need help doing that, but just to make sure as soon as possible so they can get monetized and everything like that. Because it's still, you got to support it. You got to support it or you lose it. That's how I've always thought about these things. So yes, go make sure you support it. Despite saying, like, when it first was announced with DSP and all, I was not excited. I actually am now. So we're into the show now. Let's go.
Going to be the LolCow podcast. I'm in here with Boogie 2988.
He looks so
who's
miserable.
A real celebrity, and of course,
is he
the legendary COD player?
Oh my God!
Probably the best bog player in Call of Duty.
Oh my God! Why is he being so? Jesus!
Got you a subscriber.
He just got me a subscriber. Thank you very much. Why is he so miserable? Like, I realized just after they're fighting all, it's just like, Jesus, put a fucking smile on that face. Come on. It's so weird when Wings, known for his rage, is the smiley happy one.
Wings of Redemptions. How are you fellas doing?
Boy.
Yes, you do. That's true. That's true. That's something to be proud of. Kind of like this.
Oh my God!
This documentary that just came out about Boogie. Hi, Boogie. How are you? We just fought for the last 30 minutes, and you seem to be going through a lot of stress.
A lot of stress. Alexa's not listening to me. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's all hard.
Over the documentary. I don't know why, because it was fantastic.
It was incredible. I love it.
It's been
unironically love it now.
Time. I've got a lot of stuff that, believe it or not, I'm keeping offline.
Wait, actually, Boogie confirms that Dez is sitting beside him this whole time, which that's so creepy. Is she on a leash? Like, what the fuck?
For a change.
Oh, really?
AVR, they're meant to be. That was the original claim.
I bet you'll spill it eventually.
I will eventually, I think.
Yes, you will. Okay, let's just be real.
If nothing else, people will read about it in the papers, you know.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't see in the documentary is you didn't discuss your therapist at all. Are you still seeing the therapist?
Oh, wing straight in with the hard
I actually took a break.
Really?
Which therapist?
I started taking a break in June.
I would have thought you've been going there for years. You're doing so well.
No, I have been going off and on since I was 15, I think, or 16.
Oh my God, shit on straight away. What are y'all talking about? Oh, you fucking negative Nazis. This is fucking great so far. The first minute of this, fantastic, chef's kiss. Outstanding. Oh my God. Which therapist are we talking about? Wings, you have to be specific with Boogie. You have to ask him specific questions. Okay. Is this like the totes real legit therapist who I think stopped seeing at the end of last year? The one he watched BoJack Horseman to get ready to talk to? Or is it his quote-unquote psychedelic therapist who is a weird shaman who Clum was talking about on the Some Ordinary Night Gamers podcast, and apparently he's just a fucking freak. Apparently he's just a fucking weirdo. Clum was talking about how fucking weird this guy is, because he's like, he randomly came out and was just talking to him, and he suddenly went like, guys, I can cure AIDS with like his fucking shaman technique. And they're like, no, fuck are you talking about, bro? 102, thank you very much for the super chat. I wish DSP made it on, but no chance they could rankle themselves. Tommy at least seems like he can keep Boogie in line. Hopefully. I've seen people in the pre-chat was saying like, oh, Tommy got walked all over, this was really bad, Boogie. Which, guys, you have to remember, this is one of the reasons why I said I will never sit down and have a conversation with Boogie, is like Boogie is, like, as Wings calls him, an alpha talker. He will talk over you, he won't listen to you, he will twist and be slimy and worm around things, everything like that. We saw it with Mudahar, we just screamed at him repeatedly. So, you know, it's one of the biggest reasons. So that is one of the biggest issues that might be with the podcast, is him just dominating.
I started taking therapy serious when I was 20, but most people go in and out of therapy. Specifically, like people have like what I've got going on.
ThatDarnIrishMan,
you learn a bunch of new skills.
I'm one of the best. One of the best guys. I wish he said what he had going on, because I may or may not be making a list of shit that he has claimed and shit that he talked about in the documentary.
So you learn a bunch of new like stuff to do.
Yes, sir. He's died of cancer, apparently.
And then inevitably people like me will relapse, and then you got to go back in. You got to learn what you did wrong.
Maybe you wouldn't relapse if you just stayed with the therapist. maybe that would stop you from relapsing if you just stay consistently with a therapist.
It's a constant thing, and so I've actually been out of therapy since June.
Yeah, you said that.
Is that about the time the recording finished, or the film finished up?
About that,
oh no,
yeah.
I mean that was kind of that started I think in February.
Yeah,
and it's been off and on since February to now. But I took a break in June.
I can't remember the last time, because he tweeted Mike Clemens back up to record some final stuff. I think it was around June that he did the final recording, because that's when Des 2 had moved in, was June. So I think that's when he went back up.
It was mostly financial.
Hey, you can be my sweatshirt.
Expensive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things.
Especially those mushrooms.
That was one of the things the film went out.
Therapy only works if you want it to work.
Well, I've had therapy before.
And
like
therapy only works if you do.
You don't want it to work then? You just want to spend the money, or?
Well, I mean, therapy only works if you want it to work, and therapy only works if you put...
I love that he literally reset, and he started at the start of his fucking script again. Holy shit, could you not answer that question? He literally had to, like, restart and say the initial line of his fucking script again. Tommy was upset with Boogie, because Boogie came out and was claiming that he had, like, pre-written, like, jokes and stuff like that for it. And Tommy's like, what are you talking about? This is meant to be, like, a conversation. Why do you have pre-written stuff for it? That, I assume, is something that Boogie has pre-written, because, like I said, he had to restart. And in your vid, yeah, no, gotta wait until the farmer vid and include insight on that too. The farmer vid, I don't know how much the farmer vid will add to it, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys that it's taking longer than I thought, because I'm watching a lot of stuff and finding a lot of evidence. I've scripted at least 3 segments of it. Not fully one of the segments. One of the segments I'm still working on, because I've split it down into being like the section about women, which includes Des, his general sugaring, his claims about sugaring, and Des 2. Like his health claims, financial claims, like just miscellaneous claims, the history of it, and kind of a bit of the aftermath for it. So I've been working through that. So like, I'm not going to even say I'm like halfway done. I'm not even going to say that sucks. I'm sorry.
In the work, and I can be kind of lazy sometimes, so I haven't always put in the work.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think if anybody knew me when I was 20,
how would you know it worked for anybody if you never put in the work for yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Well, but
imagine this is the guy who said, like, I've been away from therapy for a while. I don't really take it overly seriously, because I just quit every once in a while, and it only works if you want it to work, but it's never really worked on him, anything like that. But try and remember, he is acting as Des 2's therapist right now. It's like, is that not a bad thing? So when Des 2 came into his life, he seemingly quit therapy and became like her therapist, who is like training her and helping her get better.
But I have. I mean, if you knew me when I was...
You've had successes in the world.
He has not.
Yeah, I mean, if you met me when I was 20 years old, Tom, you wouldn't even recognize that I was the same person.
Really?
I will argue that Boogie's like level of happiness is solely connected to his level of success. Because like I said, I've been watching old like podcasts and stuff like that just to catch some information that he has been saying that would be useful for it, just kind of have it on the background. And he is such a different person. He is genuinely such a diffment person. When you look at him from PK from like 2000, he just got me a subscriber. Where it was like 2017. You know, it's about 2017 when he was on PKA, around about the time of his divorce, before the divorce was public. He was a much different person. He was like, happier, he was more charming, he was more interesting to listen to, he interacted better, everything like that. But now you watch him and he's just like this. He's this. He's so much worse than he was 5-6 years ago. But it's just, I don't think it's a mental health fall. I just think it's he is filled up with dopamine when he's popular. When he's not popular, he's just miserable. It's when you watch him at the start of his YouTube career, he argued with people all the time. I always argue the point that Boogie's life is a bell curve. At the start, he was really bad, and he fought with people all the time and complained all the time, went after people and stuff like that. When he got popular, he kind of chilled, and then he went down again.
I was
Mr.
like such
Hat,
a...
Thin, good looking?
Sato?
I was definitely not thin and good looking.
Oh, okay.
I was definitely just angry all the time. Just I woke up angry. I went to bed angry. I was just miserable.
Today, just how you are now?
From every moment to the moment I go to bed. These days, I have a break from the anger. These days, I have a break from the misery. And I don't think that would have happened without therapy. You know, sometimes I can see the positivity.
Can you?
Sometimes I can see the light. Sometimes I can and be a slightly more positive person. And that all came from...
Therapy? That sounds like bullshit. Wings, how do you think about the...
Moving on. No one cares, Boogie.
What do you think about the documentary? You apparently you got 20,000 viewers.
You did?
Or something like that? I heard 10,000
I
in a
did a
stream.
review stream on it, and about 22,000 people showed up to watch me review it.
It was good. I enjoyed
Boogie
it.
was talking about being mad at Moist Critical in his views. I'm like, I hope he didn't watch my shit because I kind of went hard in the paint on it. But
you went harder than Moist Critical? I watched that video.
Easily went harder than Moist Critical. And I love Boogie to death, right? Mm-hmm. But I understand that some people, you treat people differently based on who they are as a person, not who you want them to be as a person, right? And I love Boogie to death. I think he's a great person. But
okay, anyone who's watched this before, does his face ever leave that expression? Does his face at any point go from that expression? he looks like a fucking sad dog that's sitting out in the rain.
Try to be entertaining, and one of the ways I try to be entertaining is being witty. And if
so wait a minute, you love Boogie to death, and I can attest for that with my few experiences with you both. How did Moist Critical go easier on Boogie? He basically said that he's a bad person.
He is a bad person,
and then at the same time, kind of said, "But it's really sad." Well, why is it sad if he's such a bad person?
Did we watch the same video?
But he did. He just directly said that he is starting to think Boogie is just a bad person. I remember because Tommy C said he calls out Charlie during this, so I was curious if this is the extent of it, because it's not great. Because he calls him a bad person and said it's really sad, but it can be really sad if he used to like Boogie, but now he thinks he's a bad person. I can understand why you think that's sad, because that's a drop in your estimate of someone.
The video I watched, he was breaking down Boogie's sex sex worker dependency, and then
dependency.
Yeah, no, but he did, and yes, and then he broke it down that here.
Tommy, I love you. Take about 7 steps back from that microphone. I feel him reverberating inside me every time he speaks.
Here's the weird thing. Boogie comes out and he says that, this is the way I took the video, okay? All right, he spent over $200K on sex workers, right?
Yep.
And Boogie,
Look at this
when
guy.
I first watched the video, he's just saying, this is basically how I wasted all my money.
Yeah.
That I just got involved because I wanted to be with a Hollywood 10 and not an Arkansas 8. And those things.
Is he making your skull vibrate? I'm going to turn him down just a little bit because he's kind of in here. But my OBS bar doesn't say he's going that hard. He says I'm going as hard as him. So I'm going to...
Really takes that and basically says and wraps it up in he's a horrible person that treats women as just sexual gratification.
See,
which
here's what I got.
I have to admit, the more I look at evidence and information on Boogie, the more I really see that. I'm sorry, I don't really see. No, he's not that bad. Okay, cool. I don't. Boogie can talk as much praise as he wants about how big a feminist he is, but the way he acts around women, it is they're purely sexual objects. Because it is so weird. It's one of the biggest things when you see him talk about Des, the original Des. When he talks about the original Des, he would often talk about how she's such a strong woman. Because I was looking at it for the whole NDA. / non-disparagement clause thing, which Boogie obviously was saying going, she never signed an NDA, and but she did sign a non-disparagement clause, but she's such a strong woman that wouldn't stop her from speaking out against me if I had done anything bad, which is just very gaslighty, because it's trying to say that yes, whilst she is technically silenced by the law, she can't that she would just ignore that and talk badly about me. But he's changed his wording on the NDA and NDC thing repeatedly throughout history. So that's always been really weird. But he will talk highly of her. But recently, ever since he's like started like sugaring a lot and people started using her against him, he acts weirder and weirder about her. Where he is now calling her like fat and angry, and he claims that he's under an NDC and she's not actually under an NDC, and how, you know, he wishes he could talk about the things that happened during the relationship, but he can't because he's the one being censored by it, while she can say whatever she wants. All this fucking nonsense. And you're just like, bro, he is like, it's like he is trying to imply that she was abusive, which goes totally opposite direction from him trying to say, I stole the best years of her life. A woman her age shouldn't have had to be like a full-time live-in carer for me, you know, pushing me around convention centers in a wheelchair. Oh, like shit, and now here he comes. Tommy's voice is obnoxious, though. Like I said, I don't know, maybe it's just the microphone setting, but he kind of cuts into me quite a lot.
What I got from that.
Jesus Christ. Much worse than what you did.
No, what I got from that is he mistook something Boogie said in a sarcastic tone.
What was sarcastic?
As Boogie saying that he deserves to be fucking
yes,
hot women.
but how did?
But Boogie didn't say that in a sarcastic way. He didn't. Boogie has said this before. Like, Boogie has actually said this before. That is the thing, when I went back and I've been watching through stuff, Boogie has made references to the Arkansas 8s before, and the LA 10s before, years ago. This is not like a brand new thing that he said. Boogie actually did.
You take that out of context. You and me didn't take that away from it. He took it.
It's not out of context.
No, but he took Boogie literally. Boogie was saying, okay, I blew all this money on hookers because I'm kind of an idiot, right? And he took it as Boogie thinks he should be allowed to sleep with LA 10s because he's formerly a huge YouTube star.
But he literally says, like, I deserve to sleep with LA 10s. Like, he literally said that. That's not sarcasm. That's not being taken out of context. Boogie said, I deserve to sleep with LA 10s.
And I'm like, I'm watching this, and in fairness to fucking Boogie, and I'm the last guy right now to stick up for Boogie 2988, because you have no idea what an asshole he was before the show, right?
Hey, man, I'll be honest, before the show, just so people know,
you're a dark
I told him there was one thing I really didn't want mentioned, and you're like, you're just trying to manipulate me, and I'm like, no, there's just one thing I don't want to talk about today. You're like, you're manipulating me.
Oh my Christ, my fucking ears. Sorry, everyone who had to experience that. Yes, Boogie, we all know Boogie's a very manipulative person. When he comes in and you start trying to lay down certain rules, but then vaguely worded rules and stuff like that, then yes, then you are trying to manipulate the person. Fucking hell. I really don't get it. I really don't get it here. Where is meant to be the sarcasm that Boogie said? It was sarcastic when he said, I deserve to sleep with LA 10s. There wasn't sarcasm there. I don't get it, like, at all.
Get out of the show!
Oh my God, Jesus fucking Christ! Every time. We'll drop you for a little, boys, until you calm down.
I agreed to it. What did you do? You made one more demand, and then when
I got
by that, then why do we record things different?
I just had two.
This is the problem with your whole life.
No. So like in like 2 days, Boogie's been called both a pussy and a bitch.
Anybody that tries to help you try to sandbag and manipulate.
Let me speak. I had two requests. There's a content creator who...
Don't bring it up if you're going to talk about it, pussy. If you're going to sit there and we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Oh my God. I remember him specifically. Tommy C, bringing this up because he was annoyed because Boogie came in and pretty much said, you can't talk about like Mudahar. During the introduction, but he pretty much said, you can't talk about it. And then Boogie randomly decides to talk about it, and Tommy's reacting like this. So I remember him mentioning this in his little meltdown thing where he was like wanting to like drink bleach or something.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. You're not going to bring this up. I'll talk about him right now. If we're not doing this half-assed, if you told me no and I agreed to it, okay, you're not going to sit there and walk right up to the door. Drop it.
I guess if you speak his name, you speak it.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying, and you just proved to the entire.
And that is Boogie trying to manipulate. Boogie was the one who then brought that up. And Tommy's like, no, we're not talking about this. We're not talking about this. You can't give me a rule that I can't talk about it. And now Boogie's like, well, you're the one going to speak his name. You're the one going to speak his name. It's like, that's pure manipulation.
Audiences, you're trying to...
Oh my God, he has arcades in the background. What is wrong with these people?
Control me. So drop it.
Well, I'm just saying.
So let's get back to Charlie.
There's two things I didn't want to talk about today.
Oh my God. And you're hoping I talk about it so it can give you an excuse to walk off the podcast.
No, well then let's start.
Well then drop it. Drop it.
Let me hit.
Okay, good. I'm gonna do a boogie does. I'm gonna do a boogie does. Tell me.
I never did. He should have just started screaming. I never did.
Let me segue here. Like, Boogie.
Can we start over then?
No, let's not.
No, this is perfect.
This is perfect.
Then
but let me ask you this, Boogie. When you were spending that money,
he is such a bitch. He really is. It's just like he's sitting muttering under his breath there at the end.
Those women, did it never cross your mind to like maybe pay the house off?
Okay.
Yeah, but you got to remember, I was suicidal back then, so I didn't.
Oh
I
my
didn't
God!
Did you ever think that none of them were LA 10s and you're fucking fooling yourself?
Oh yeah, I knew that. I always knew that, Tom.
Yeah, but
I always knew that because that was also part of my sarcasm. It's weird that he now goes in on him for the LA 10 thing when a second ago he just said that was sarcasm. Tommy, I like you. I do. I watched your last couple of live streams. I like you. But you're kind of weirdly saying now you're taking a piss out of the LA 10 thing when a second ago you're standing up for him for the LA 10 thing. It's just, that seems a wee bit weird. But yes, straight away. Mark, you know what? We should actually get a bingo card for this. Maybe for next time we should have a bingo card. That is just his like catch-all excuse. Anytime he's just like can't explain anything or it's just bad behavior, it is just like recently he started going like, well, that's covert narcissism. Well, that's covert narcissism over and over and over again. Here is just hitting him straight out just saying, oh, well, I was going to end myself. I was going to end myself, as if you can't criticize him. Because I remember Tommy C saying he tried to pull like the PTSD thing on him, and Tommy's like, I've lost friends, and he's trying to claim that he has PTSD because he was like Tommy C was like a combat vet or something, wasn't he?
it sounds good on the video if you're saying they're LA 10s, right?
I mean, again.
There's a lot of deep breathing. Oh my God, he has nothing. Boogie has nothing. Is he trying to act like browbeaten? Is he trying to act like pathetic for the audience so they'll feel sorry for him? You know the whole covert narcissism? Make yourself look so weak and soft so people feel sorry for you. I'm Jerry from Rick and Morty, guys. I'm BoJack Horseman. That kind of shit. Oh God.
Wife watched the documentary today because we did a lot. We rewatched the documentary. We watched the Charlie video to try to prep for this.
Yep.
To try to,
he was doing Andy Kaufman. Yeah, they weren't.
My
tense.
wife brought up a couple good points.
They're Andy Kaufman tense.
Hi, Kelly.
And like one of the points is that you said you could. Could
we do like the next episode? Could we have Des too? Tommy C's wife, I'm assuming he has one, and Kelly. Could we do that? Could we do that for a special for the podcast? Like maybe like the 5th episode, the 10th episode, or something like that. You know, maybe we could have something like that. Could we do like a girl cow special? That'd be funny.
Ever felt like you loved a woman and like
yeah, if I were him, that's what I thought. Yeah,
like did you not love your first wife at all?
The Spice episode, exactly.
She was really good at accounting.
I don't think I said that.
You did say that.
You did.
I definitely.
Yeah, I know. You've been shitting on fucking Des 1 a lot recently.
Not say that.
Didn't you say that? When I think he was on drugs when he said something like that. In fairness.
Oh my God, this is the first time I've ever felt happiness. I don't know.
He was on the. He did like Boogie had the greatest idea, like the best idea ever. Nothing else. Therapy hasn't worked for me, so let me do hardcore drugs.
Hardcore.
Don't get me wrong.
Let me do some
Psychedelics. You do the
mushrooms.
research.
He just shushed Kelly. He just shushed Kelly off screen. Just shut up, bitch. Wait for the Spice episode.
There's I mean, every city in the country right now, they're doing ketamine treatments.
And
ketamine combined
He's been
with,
talking about this for ages.
For therapy tradition. Ketamine is basically horse tranquilizer.
Just going to quickly say, for the people subscribing, thank you very much. But for some reason, like, despite it saying that, it's not actually showing up on my screen here, so I can't actually see it for some reason. I'm not sure, but everyone knows. Potato PC, the worst thing in the world. New PC is on its way, however, it could take a couple weeks. Okay, I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying. And yes, he has allergies. Don't forget the blood cancer. He never listened to Dark. Many people claimed he had. Lockin, he claimed he left it out because Total Biscuit, everyone turned on Total Biscuit when it was revealed that he had cancer, which is just a lie, but sure, whatever. And now he's talked about it 20 times since then.
But it's a psychedelic, and it works for human beings. And every, like, doctors...
Isn't it a tranquilizer?
Well, no, what it does do, actually, it does help with PTSD. It does help with trauma. If you do the research, like it's out there.
You can watch a documentary. I used to know this bitch that used to like get horse like antibiotics because she couldn't afford to go to the doctor. I don't know if that's the same thing.
So to beat COVID, like Joe
But I don't think it does anything with like any physical diseases or anything.
I know, sung it out of by Windows 7.
Specifically, like there's a documentary you can watch on Netflix called How to Change Your Mind, and they get into it there. And the research.
I don't want to talk about.
See, my biggest issue with Boogie mentioning this, because he mentioned this before, and I remember because when he was talking about, I think it was during his ego death thing, where he talked about it, and he randomly just said, like, guys, if you watch episode 3 of this documentary on Netflix, you'll understand what I went through. And I'm just like, Boogie, when I've already think that you, like, stole his ending himself storyline from Afterlife, the show with Ricky Gervais, because he even has a point where, you know, where Ricky Gervais in Afterlife, like, decided not to end himself because of his dog. Boogie literally made that claim about Sammy. And then, for some reason, only pushed back his ending himself for 7 months. He said, I can't do this to Sammy. Well, you know, what will happen to him? So I just decided to push it back by a few months. That doesn't even make any sense. 100%. It was Boogie just outright just saw Afterlife and just was like, you know what, why not? I remember when, I think he was on H3H3, and I think Hila at one point was like, hey, that's like Afterlife. And Boogie's like, oh, I've never seen that show. Yeah, Fire Blue Flame. He claimed everyone turned on fire on Total Biscuit. Like, that's like, I think a lot of people only heard Total Biscuit because of the cancer thing. Boogie claimed the opposite. Boogie claimed, oh, everyone stopped watching him. Everyone stopped watching Total Biscuit the second he announced he had cancer, and that's why I didn't include it in the documentary, even though he included skin cancer in the documentary. It was the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard.
At that, I want to talk about your documentary.
I'm sorry, I thought you brought it up.
That's right.
No, I thought you brought it up.
I want to talk about your documentary.
Well, in my specific case, I found that research to be true.
Did you?
It seemed to create some neuroplasticity in my brain, and...
Bro, this happened in February. You've been in like a downward spiral ever since. You ended up like dating like a 19-year-old autistic girl. I fixed myself, guys. Oh, what was it? I found clips of him saying shit like, you know, why, like the whole, like, why would you date someone in their like 20s? He talked about randomly, like, I like small, pale, redhead girls. He was randomly talking about how he's kind of interested in like submissive girls who'll do anything you tell them. But he's like, but I'm not sure if it would make a good relationship. But I am interested in, you know, submissive girls who'll just do anything you tell them. And I'm hearing him say stuff like that and go like, Jesus, none of this has aged well.
I did 3 sessions in the next 2 weeks with.
He's talking about the shrooms he took, but he also randomly said ketamine treatments is also being used for a similar thing.
I think you're exactly.
My audio's cutting out, is it? Oh, one sec. Sorry, guys. There you go, guys. So she'll be back there. Yes. So he's talking about the ketamine treatments for.
More progress in that period of time than I think I've ever made.
Really? So that quote, I think, Wings.
I am just saying, Boogie 100% is worse, like now, than when I started covering him. He is miserable. He fights with people constantly. He just seems annoyed by everything. You can't post anything. It's the first time I've ever seen Boogie private his Twitter account. That is the first time I've ever seen him private his Twitter account and claim that he's just going to like delete his Twitter. And then like less than 24 hours later, he unprivated it again. If he actually had just done that, I think Boogie would be so much happier.
What he said was, "This is the first time I felt joy." That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah, that's
exactly, Luna. It is.
Fell in love.
Wait, what?
Try to remember, Luna, when you likely find my Boogie stuff last June, I think it was, or last July. That was Boogie wanting to go to Uvalde after the shooting to film there. That was Boogie wanting to do that. That was and Boogie somehow is like worse than that. He privated his Twitter because he said there was so much drama, so he decided to private his Twitter, and then that only lasted like 24 hours, and he unprivated it again.
I might have misquoted it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, fair enough.
You said you're suicidal.
Oh God!
But you didn't want to pay the house off at that point. It's like,
well, why would?
Do we think every single time we have one of these episodes, he's going to bring that up? Do we think that? Like, is this going to be like hard to keep monetized?
Why would you waste your money on a house you're never going to live in?
Why did you try and buy a Tesla a month before you did it? Why did you get your teeth fixed 4 months before you did it? Etc. All that kind of stuff. Like, but this is a guy who's claimed he's going to give all of his money away to charity when he did it. but not, then he was like trying to buy a Tesla in June, and he intended to do it in July based on his own claims. So why were you trying to buy a Tesla on finance if you were gonna, you know, like what? Didn't his fans buy him a Tesla? No. Give him money, but he never bought it. Okay, this is the thing. Boogie is a freak about the Tesla thing because Boogie came out and was making videos and all about it, and he came out and said, "Oh guys, I'm crazy. I just bought a Tesla," and people were like criticizing him because he was talking about how much it was, and then he randomly did the whole like, you know, like, am I asking you to buy me a Tesla? Yes, donate, blah blah. He did all that kind of stuff, which at the time I would have been like, okay, well, he's just joking around. I think people are taking this too seriously, but that's all Boogie does now. All Boogie does now is the joking, quote unquote, begging for people to donate to him. So now that I look back on that, I'm like, well, that's what he does now. So I actually see that as, yes, he was actually begging. I see that as a direct beg from him now. But he didn't actually buy it. He did that whole thing, and then he said he stopped. And the reason he said he stopped was because people were bullying so much he decided not to get a Tesla.
That doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, but
I just wanted to spend my
plan.
My plan at the time was to spend through my money and then pop my brains.
Yeah, but why would you spend like you're literally getting like game?
Was it? Because one of your plans is that you're also going to stop uploading at that time, wait until everyone forgot about you, and then do it. Another thing you were going to do was make it look like an accident by taking heart medication, all that kind of stuff. Like, look at him smiling now. Imagine, this is the first time he's like kind of half smirked throughout the entire podcast, and it's a time where he said he's just going to pop his brains.
Yeah, like fucking GameStop cards or some shit like that in purses to buy for hookers who are paying for sex to begin with.
Is he going to say this is an exaggeration?
You'll see in a lot of interviews, Mike said that he ballparked a lot of these figures. We didn't like sit down and look at receipts or anything. There was no games.
Mike in the Some Ordinary podcast said that Boogie spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mike still said hundreds of thousands of dollars, which implies it actually might be more than 200,000. Because Boogie, of course, tried to downplay it immediately. He said, actually, it's not really that much I spent. The 200,000 included, like, trips, myself, and me traveling, and I might meet a girl after I'd traveled, but everything like that. But we just decided to include it all, because why not, guys? Because Boogie, for some reason, doesn't think you get scrutiny on that. So, like, it just feels like Boogie is just trying to drop Clum in it. He has blamed Clum for everything wrong with the documentary so far.
Stop gift certificates. There was no gift certificates or anything like that.
Did you know that Chantal has officially started arguing the comments of the video? Lo, really? Ugh.
There were gifts, there were trips, there were things along that lines, and most of the time, it wasn't like I took somebody on a trip with me. I would like go to LA to see my friends, to go to the Game Awards, to go
go to the Game Awards, guys. You know,
film haunt season, stuff like that. And while I was out there, I'd take like one night to meet somebody and hang out.
I'd meet an LA 10. You know, when I was in LA, that's when I met the LA 10. When I went to New York for Times Square, I met the New York 10. Crazy.
So, like, a lot of that, to begin with, the $200,000 figure got severely rounded up.
I don't believe so.
And then the majority of that money was spent on just traveling.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. He claimed that he gave Lucy Fox, I think, $13,000. Lucy Fox alone was $13,000. That was just Lucy Fox, guys. Just Lucy Fox. At the start of, what was it, 2018, was it, with Lucy Fox, 2018? $13,000. So one of the first women he apparently got with was $13,000, and he was with her for about 3 months, he claimed. So where's this coming from suddenly? Where it's like, actually, no, I spent way, way less than that. Like, I saw someone earlier on said he's down to 40,000. Whenever he had claimed 100,000 himself. If we are down to like 40,000, that means he spent over a quarter on just Lucy Fox, and she was not an LA 10. Paul, thank you very much. This is LolCowLive. Where's the pig roach? Yeah, unfortunately, he was not willing to participate because Keemstar was involved. We're all mourning the loss.
You know, most of it was like getting out my fat ass out there. Like,
why would you do that if you couldn't afford it, though?
Well, I could afford it at the time, but yeah, I definitely could afford it at the time.
Okay, but this doesn't make any sense because we've gone from he was going to end himself, and that's why he didn't use the money to pay off a house. So instead, he did it so he could travel to like New York to film in Madame Tussauds for his travel channel because he claimed I spent money to build my travel channel. You know, the thing that no one cared about, literally no one watched. I think I'm one of the only people in the entire world who has watched every episode of it because it is genuinely the shittest thing I have ever seen. Like, so if like nothing matters and you were going to end yourself, why right before you did that, or actually around about the time you did that, actually I think maybe even after the time you did that, why were you like spending that money? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would you spend it to travel to Madame Tussauds? Like, I just don't get that like at all. Boogie will soon drop the 40. He'll say, like, I literally never did, actually. That was me being Andy Kaufman, guys. I never once did it. How does Boogie rate himself, Mark? Mark, he claimed recently that he's mid. That is it. He has said, despite being fat, I'm pretty mid, aren't I, guys? Despite being fat and old, I'm pretty mid, aren't I? Which implies Boogie thinks that right now, he is still, for like a 20-year-old woman, like a 5 out of 10.
I'm not doing it now because I can't afford it.
Have paid on pussy? I mean, he says 200K is not legitimate.
I love that he changed that to 2018 and 2021 now because I caught him out because of that fucking thing. Because Boogie was still claiming, people are showing links from years ago, and then I found one from like the 31st of December, 2021. Which is around about the time Boogie was claiming to have like a girlfriend, the one he was his family that he bought Leo with.
What's the real number?
Specifically on that,
190.
195. 195.
God, it's not any better than that, really, to speak it out loud, Tommy. Probably 40.
40?
If I had to estimate.
What?
Across 3 years.
I mean, like
40K in 1 year.
40K across 3 years now. So what are we doing? Like 2018, 2019, 2020? So has he dropped 2021 again? What about 2022 when he very obviously was still doing sugar babies? What? So is he just? It's now 3 years only and 40 grand. And like I said, he's claimed 13 grand on just Lucy Fox, guys. So again, you know what? Maybe take a pinch of salt.
In my
Well, you
head,
having sex every
That's
day?
pretty fucking bad.
Wait a minute. How
I
much?
had that money right
I
now,
don't buy it.
I would. I'd be
How
very
much is
over the moon.
sex? Oh, see, you were buying them. See, most people, what they do is they give the hooker whatever, $100, $200 and sleep with them and get rid of it. You were taking them out to, like, why are you taking hookers?
Oh
out
shit!
to
I
dinner?
did some stupid shit with him. I sent an autistic kid to fucking school. Like this.
I think it's more interesting talking about the pussy.
Yeah,
Well, no,
I
but
agree.
I'm saying
Yeah.
like that. No, I'm saying like
not
so
stupid
for
shit.
someone
That's
I
like-
knew,
like-
I sent their kid to fucking school.
Oh, it was
I
a
spent my
hooker's
money on
kid.
doing shit like that. Yeah, like I did.
You
I
said
did
a
all
hooker's
kinds of
kid
shit.
just
Wait, so he sent a hooker's autistic kid to school. How much American bros out there, Kai Nikki? What the fuck does that mean? How much would that cost? Like how much would that cost? Like, because right now we're out of his new claim $40,000. Like, what are we going for here, guys? Because we're 13,000. He paid for the bus ticket. He sent him to school. He paid for the bus ticket. Like what are we talking about? Like, because okay, 13,000 for just Lucy. So what are we talking about for a private school that Boogie paid for? How much would that cost, guys? Okay, Saint Boogie, calm down. Put down your throne.
Yeah, I really did.
Oh yeah, sure you did. Sure
I
you
helped
did.
somebody,
I
like
was up
the
here
documentary
thinking
said, I
like
helped somebody
you
with
being sweet, like I called
their
a local
nursing
school and,
degree.
Like the documentary said, I helped someone with her nursing degree. I'm pretty sure when you were talking to her, she said, like, you want to give me money for my nursing degree? Pretty sure that's not how it happened.
Paid off people's lunches.
Yeah.
10K a year for private school. Jesus Christ. Surely like 40, 50. Like, I was like, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what a private school in America would cost. It's kind of insane, you know? It's ridiculous. Like, what a claim. Like, he is just, it's like I said, this is part of the Boogie cycle. He is like trying to portray himself as beaten down. That's why he's doing the wee pathetic voice, guys. Yeah, I've done some dumb things, guys. And he's like painting himself as a saint and also downplaying everything in the documentary. Remember, this is a documentary that Boogie said was to hold me accountable and put all the drama behind. He has argued everything in the entire documentary. He has argued, except for the fucking rubber duck story. I will never get over that he never commented on the rubber duck story with the girl at the start of the fucking documentary. That was the one thing he was like, yep, that was accurate, never mind that.
Yeah,
Christ.
I did a lot of
you've paid off the girlfriend's kid stuff before, though. You're not 100%.
I'm not.
You're a good person. You've done that before yourself.
Well, one of my first long-term relationships had 2 kids, and like I was stupid and I was in love.
I even remember this, yeah.
I've spent my own degree of.
But that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Wings did it because he was actually in like a committed relationship with a woman, and yes, she might have been taking advantage of him, but she wasn't like a sugar baby. I'm pretty sure he didn't find, what was her name, Bonnie or something like that. I can't remember what the fuck her name was, but I'm pretty sure he didn't find her on seeking.com.
40,000 ain't that bad. I mean, like,
were they hookers?
No.
Were they hookers?
No, they weren't.
Or they were
hookers.
girlfriend?
The rubber duck's bit was brilliant.
But, like,
Oh, fair enough.
you haven't beat like DSP's Hogan pools yet, so like. You're still
Yeah,
building
true.
the Foundation.
Oh no, he
Why
has.
did you just-
If he spent 200,000, he beat the fucking like WWE champions. He did.
Sleep with them and
Yeah, Wings is willing to date women of his level. He is like, and that is just factual, and that's fine. Wings went out there and he found a woman. Yes, I know there's so much drama around Kelly and everything, but he went out and he found a lady who is similar, the kind of level as him, similar kind of means and all of him, and he was happy and he settled because he wanted some companionship and he wanted someone to be with him, and that is absolutely fine. Well, for Boogie, he wanted a trophy. There's no reason why he'd be showing these fucking women online if he didn't want to show off his fucking trophies. That is just that blatant. There's no reason why when he did the travel stuff last year, he would randomly include like pictures of the potential sugar babies standing there. Like, why else would you film them if you're like protecting them? Because I don't want the trolls to go after them. Like, he claimed he had to reveal who Des 2 was because a troll somehow found out who she was, even though no one believed he had a girlfriend. They somehow tracked her down, even though no one thought she existed, and messaged her to say, haha, I have found you. I know you're Boogie's girlfriend. So Boogie decided to dox her first and reveal her because it meant the troll couldn't do it. Genius. Okay, sure, I believe that storyline.
Like, call it a day. Why did you have? Is it like, I noticed like
nobody will believe me when I tell them. But I was just trying everything I could to just be out of pain. I was like in a very bad place mentally and also physically.
You tried literally everything but going to the fucking gym.
And going through the divorce and getting bypass surgery and everything.
Oh my god,
no, that doesn't
such
answer
a
my
fucking
question,
whiner.
Why taking them out? Why?
I love he didn't include any of this shit in the fucking documentary, because I was really surprised when he went through the documentary and he did not talk about his thoughts of self-deletion or like his constant unadulterated misery of every nanosecond of his existence. Like, the documentary did not convey that. I know it was called like The Dark Side of Life and Clum had to take a break because like Boogie is so depressed, but it didn't come across like this, where he is just sitting there like sighing and mumbling the whole time about how hard his life is, and it's like, bro, this is pathetic. Where was the energy when you're sitting screaming I never did at Mudahar over and over and over again?
The dinner date, like, why buy
because I thought that
what happened to the one emo chick in Boogie's videos? She was a woman who apparently him and Boogie, so her and Boogie met up because she wanted like to further her career online and get attention online, and Boogie was like, hey, well, why don't we do videos and all together? You'll help me because you'll be in my videos, and I'll help you by giving you exposure and stuff like that. And he wanted to get with Grave Girl, but she didn't want to get with him. And then eventually it fell apart and they separated. But he really wanted to get with her, but she wasn't interested in him. That's like, so was she one of the few sugar babies who would like sugar for him by like spending time with him, but wouldn't engage in sex, wouldn't take it to the next level? Maybe that. And yeah, Boogie is, honest to God, blowing up my phone right now. It is kind of ridiculous. Like, Dad, I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
Might help. Just straight up, like, sex didn't help. So I thought, well, what
then
if
then why stop? Why stop? Sex didn't help. Continued to pay $200,000.
We went to
Did it
this
do anything
place
for you,
together.
like,
What if we did
mentally,
this thing together? What if we travel? I know it never helped. It was a very. It's like the food.
Like, oh my god,
food is.
He is literally just doing this so people can. So because he thinks, like I said, covert narcissism. I wear my patheticness on my sleeves so people will just leave me alone and stop hurting me. All that shit. He is literally just doing this, hoping people will stop talking about the sugar baby thing, because I think Boogie didn't realize, because I think Boogie thinks he's really famous. Like, I'm just saying, and this is not to like suck my own dick or anything like that. Boogie's not actually messaging me. I refuse to speak with Boogie. Boogie knows this. I think Boogie genuinely thinks, like, when I like make a video about him, I think Boogie thinks, oh, I'm famous. That guy's making a video on me. I'm famous. Everyone knows about me. Everyone talks about me. I have 500,000 followers on Twitter. Everyone's watching everything I say, and they're obsessed with me, and they love me. I think that's how Boogie honestly thinks. I don't think Boogie expected that the average Joe on the street did not know what a degenerate piece of shit he was. I think he actually was surprised because he thought, fuck, I thought everyone knew about the sugar babies. And now he's like trying to backpedal on that so hard because he thought people might think, oh, he's a giga child, look at him. The manosphere might come out and be like, yeah, bro, fucking bitches, getting riches, yeah. I think he expected like that kind of response. But now he's like really having to downplay the sugar baby thing because he got so much shit for it.
The food is fucking killing me, but I keep eating it.
Wow.
Yeah, Boogie kept repeatedly saying the only type of sex he could have was reverse cowgirl, but now he can do doggy style.
I'm just saying, like,
So it was like,
No
it was always
weeb.
a self-destructive act.
How did you pay? How did you pay? You pay by the hour? Like, how did it work?
Generally, it was more like, hey, I need help with this, so help me with this, and I would help them with that. That's generally what would happen.
That's what. Wait a minute. You're picking. See, I don't know how.
What?
I don't know how it works.
So you pay them by the hour? I need to listen to that again. My brain just like melted.
Look.
Generally, it's more like, hey, I need help with this, so help me with this, and I would help them with that. That's generally what would happen.
That's what.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You're picking. See, I don't know how. I don't know how it works.
Sorry, I need to go further back.
Like sex didn't help. So I thought, well, what if we went to
Did it do
this
anything
place
for you,
together?
like,
What if we did
mentally,
this thing together? What if we travel? Oh no, it never helped. It was a very. It's like the food. Like the food is fucking killing me, but I keep eating it.
Well,
you know?
I'm just saying, like,
Boogie got happy when he talked about food. That's the one time he chuckled. Well, like I said, this whole thing is just made up. Like the whole thing is just made up. It is just Boogie wanting attention, everything like that. So this whole thing is a performance by him. So I think Boogie laughs about the food because he can't laugh about the sugar babies or anything because people are judging him, everything like that. I think he laughs about the food because he thinks, oh, I'm still a big fat jolly guy and I can laugh about food and people will be okay with that. I think that's probably what we're going for here. Boogie allegedly tried to dox a former mod on Johnny Fox's stream last night and threatened to go to Johnny's house allegedly. I saw like rumors and stuff like that about it. I don't really know too much about it. I don't watch Johnny Fox or anything like that because I kind of keep my reaction stuff to my reaction stuff. But yeah, people have claimed that there have been Boogie alts in my comments before. I remember there's a guy threatening to dox me one time. I randomly started talking about my teeth. Just out of fucking nowhere. And like I remember laughing about it because it was around about the time Boogie was having a meltdown with Sunny V2 and talking about how bad his fan base was. So I actually was laughing because I screenshot the whole thing and I put it in one of my videos. And I was laughing about it and going, oh, Boogie's out there crying because Sunny V2, because like someone left a message in Boogie's like chat to tell Boogie to like do a flip pretty much. And Boogie's like, this is the fan base that Sunny V2 has created and he's sent them after me with his documentary. And I was laughing going like, well, Boogie, what about this guy? He's a fan of yours. He's out here trying to dox me, trying to go after me, threatening me and everything like that. And then it was afterwards, people were like, bro, that was Boogie. Do you see how he was typing? That was Boogie. And so like people are convinced it was Boogie. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. But I still thought it was kind of funny.
So it was always a self-destructive act.
How did you pay? How did you pay? You pay by the hour?
There's so much whining in this.
Generally, it's more like, hey, I need help with this, so help me with this.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, I need help with this. I need help with this. Okay, so it's just like woman was going up saying, I just need money for this, and he gave it to him. Like, I need to send my autistic son to school, and Boogie's like, okay, how much is the bus ticket?
And I would help them with that. That's generally what would happen.
Sure.
Wait a minute.
Is it like that? Because like, I'm sorry, when they're like, it's a 20-year-old sugar baby. Is that really how it happened? Because like, I remember like looking at this whole thing and like sugar babies, like a lot of them seem to like charge like flat fees where they'll say like girlfriend experience for the weekend is $2,000 and stuff like that. That's what I saw. Like, but Boogie's saying like they made like negotiations. It's like I will go to one dinner with you if you pay for my autistic son to go to school. And Boogie's like, no, one dinner and a breakfast. And she go, oh no, if you do that, you'll have to pay for swimming lessons too. Like, what negotiation was this?
See, I don't know how it works. Look, I was in the army. All right.
You meet somebody.
Boogie has a track record of doing shit like that, though. More than like it wasn't. I could believe it. That's the thing. I don't know about it. I haven't seen the message or anything like that. I don't know how they were typing or anything. But I could believe it. 100%. I could believe it. The whole Christopher Tom thing, where after the Christopher Tom documentary came out, suddenly someone was like messaging. I think it was like Christopher Tom's friends. Or friends of people he knew, like on YouTube, saying like, hello, I am a journalist and I want to talk to Christopher Tom about his recent documentary and do an article on it. Can you please give me Christopher Tom's full name, where he lives, and his phone number, please? Or some shit like that. And people just believed it was Boogie, because it probably was Boogie.
All right. I was in the
army. You meet somebody.
Thanks, Edwin.
You meet somebody online.
Yeah.
You talk for a little while. You get to know them. You hang out a couple of times.
And then you pay them?
What?
And then they'll.
So I don't think this is how sugaring works. Because, like, they are specifically, especially if they're doing that as a service, where they are expecting to be paid. Why would they, like, chat with you and then come and just hang out? They're not your friend. They're a sugar baby. Why would they hang out first? Like, that doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm coming from a place of privilege. My having a girlfriend privilege. That I don't know how this actually works. Because this sounds stupid. This actually sounds stupid. Why would a sugar baby who is there to make money off you show up and hang out with you a few times and be your buddy before you arrange like what payments to organize for certain things? Like, what? It doesn't make any sense.
Be like, hey, so this is what I'm looking for. Like, I need help with this. I need help sending my kids to school. I need help with my nursing degree.
Oh, now he's claiming that he just knew about the nursing degree. Now he's like taking that part of the documentary as if the woman said like she used the money to pay her nursing fee. Now it's like she has gone up and said, Boogie, can you sign on this contract that you're going to pay $5,000 in gift cards towards my nursing degree? And she said, and he said, yeah, and he signed. What are you talking about? What the fuck?
Actually, we're doing sugar daddy.
And so, like,
you weren't
then,
going on like skip the game.
This doesn't make any sense.
There you go.
But it said sex workers. One girl, you actually cured some girl sex work. I mean,
it still is.
Boogie has claimed that sugaring is not the same as like sex work because he said he doesn't do hookers and he doesn't do escorts. Like, so how is it sex work if they don't have sex with you? That doesn't make any fucking sense. There's like no, it's not even like cam girls. Like cam girls, people consider sex work because they're like, you know, showing themselves to you or like fiddling themselves. I'm trying to avoid words. I'm going to say fiddling themselves because that sounds funny. Fiddling themselves and shit like that for you to watch, which is like, you know, a sexual act. But like sugar babies, from what he has described it as, is like you go and you hang out and you watch a movie together. He's saying that he was like meeting girls and just saying like, hey, do you want to go and watch an Avengers movie together?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I guess.
It's
actually, it sounds more like you're being fooled now you're paying for a sex.
It sounds entirely fake.
I'm thinking you're
so
applying
did you ever get a long-term
for someone.
about this?
Edwin, thank you very much for the super chat, dude. What SEK? I don't know what SEK is. Sorry, I'm genuinely curious. Now I need to quickly look that up. But thank you very much, SEK. Oh, Swedish Corona. Ah, very cool. Big ups for being one of the realest people making some of my favorite content. Keep doing you, mate. Thank you very much, dude. Massively appreciate it. I'm genuinely unsure of what this is meant to be. I like the way he's describing it does not sound like sugar babies.
Might as well have.
Not really. I mean, like, you know, there's people I knew for a long time, but it's not. It's none of it's like an actual relationship. It's nothing like what I have
so
now.
Weird.
You know.
Most people.
No, yeah, definitely wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Definitely not like what I have now, which is a definitely real relationship. Like, it's so cringe. Like, oh yeah, some of them I knew for long. Why would sugar babies like stay in touch with you and have long-term like friendships, quote unquote, with you if they're not being paid? Why would they care? They have other people to get money from.
They're going up looking like I want a blonde. I want her to be 5 foot whatever.
I want a redhead, just a redhead.
Like,
not to look like my wife.
No one ever hears about like some hooker's fucking kid or anything. Or much
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Tommy?
How did that happen? That's what I want to know. How does this happen? Most people go on for sex. Like you went for something else. That's interesting.
I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, but I think
would I accept going to the podcast? Nah.
The mental state I was in was I wanted to feel useful. I wanted to feel appreciated.
What?
I wanted to feel like a good person.
Oh
and
my Christ.
Doing that.
I love that he has turned sugaring into Saint Boogie. Again, like, is there anything that Boogie does where it isn't about how good a person he is? Is there anything ever that happened where it's not about how good a person he is?
$5, you can
let me feel like those things.
So basically, okay, so let me get this straight. You would apply, you would solicit a hooker online, and then you would treat him like a girlfriend?
No, he was.
Well, no,
sugar babies.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah, but that's what you said. The thing they said it was sex work.
But at the end of the day, it is a variation of the thing.
It's
like
not.
You know, like there's high-end delicious chocolate, and there's like low-end fucking Milky Ways or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's a difference between.
So let me ask you.
It's not. Like, I'm sorry. Does anyone consider a sugar baby, whereas like Boogie says, is like sex is not something you can pay for? That is what Boogie said. You cannot pay for sex with a sugar baby. You can only pay for them to come out and hang out with you. Sex, he has always argued, sex is entirely voluntary, and they have always then had sex with him because they just love him so much because he's such a great guy. That is what Boogie has claimed. That he gets sex all the time from these sugar babies, even though you can't pay them for sex. That is what he has always said. So, like, how does sex work if you can't pay for sex? Doesn't that seem like there's a bit of a miss point there?
So if they were better looking, or like more relationship.
Well, one's about sex and one's about companionship.
Like in the documentary.
Okay. All right. I can get that.
In the documentary, you're like scrolling down like a page of women. Are
and you
those
call one
actually
fat?
women on like the sugar babying side?
Ugly bitches,
Yeah.
by the way. Ugly broads. Oh my god.
Is that
Yeah.
exactly
Is that an
that's usually
Arkansas?
there?
Oh my god, Boogie, no! Oh my god, that has to go in the fucking video now! You fucking idiot. Tommy C. Okay, it's fine for Tommy to joke. I laughed about it. And, you know, it's fine, because some of those women, yeah, they weren't great looking. But Boogie being like, yep. Boogie, when he was doing his, like, watching Charlie, was, like, horrified. at himself and how he used to think about women. And now Boogie's sitting there going, yep, they were fucking ugly.
I didn't see Arkansas.
Yeah. That's pretty much what you expect to see in Northwest Arkansas. You're pretty much accurate. Yeah.
Some of those women were like actually attractive. There were some that were genuinely like fucking dog ugly, like, but there were some of them that were actually attractive. I'm sorry, Boogie. Not now Boogie's sitting talking about, yep, see, that's what you expect in Arkansas, which is leaning into the Arkansas 8 LA 10 thing again that he just claimed was fucking sarcasm. How do we always do this? It's just like, let Boogie talk, and we will fucking loop back around again. Am I liking the podcast so far? I'm fucking loving it. It's great. I actually am. It's fun.
Fours, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
You might understand why I was traveling.
How much are those girls per hour? I'm interested.
I wouldn't know.
They don't.
I wouldn't know. I don't hire sugar babies. Boogie, you know what fucking sugar babies are?
I know you're on the fucking website.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy.
What I did was
fucking
nothing
lunatic.
like by the hour or anything.
Oh.
We know none of that
Sure.
was
What
by
did
the
you
hour.
buy?
Yeah. What are you talking? I'm guys. If I make a fucking seeking account, none of you can hold it against me because I'm now going to have to do it for fucking research purposes. Because now there's like hourly accounts coming in and Boogie went, oh, I wouldn't know about that because I didn't do it by the hour. It's like, so how would you not? So like, do they offer it by the hour? But for some reason, you can organize like special arrangements with them why you don't do it by the hour instead you just do it by the autistic child. Like, what measurement is this? Like a bartering system? It's like, oh, I don't work on the hours. I work on like level autism and number of classes you want me to send them to.
What did you buy?
What do you mean, what program?
Oh my god!
Like, all right, you didn't do it by the hour, but what did you buy? Like
I said, you'd meet
or...
somebody online, you would talk to them for a while, you would get to know them, you'd go on a few dates.
I'll let her know.
They would be like, here's the thing that I need help with,
You can't leave
and then you would help them with that thing.
Without giving this girl's identity away, which one would you say was the one that you shugged for the most? Like, what was the most outrageous one?
The one that quit sex work.
The one with the autistic kid. I felt...
Oh my god. Biggie, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. Because you're claiming 40,000. And you've shugged the most for that girl with the autistic kid. But Lucy Fox was $13,000. Which, like I said, is over a quarter. And now we've got... And she was maybe the second most. Maybe the third most. How does this make sense? Did he only have 3 sugar babies the entire fucking time? God damn it.
I felt a lot of compassion for her situation. I felt a lot of compassion for the kid.
The farm's doing the math right now. I'm sure they are.
You actually talk to the kid because this would make it more weird.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be hilarious.
I met him a couple times.
Buddy, I'm Boogie
we did.
998 on YouTube.
They came over for my Thanksgiving during COVID. That was.
Hi, Thanksgiving friends. Yeah, this is this is just like some hooker, and this is her autistic kid. I'm sending him to school. Just ignore it. It's not weird.
We did.
Was this after?
This is incredible.
I guess this is when your wife left, right?
Yeah.
When? What? When? Tell me when. Tell me when.
Trying to make a little family for yourself is what you're doing.
Well, my
he
thought
met the
process
fucking kid. He did.
And it's not like this now, but at the time I wasn't emotionally available. So I wanted companionship, but I knew I was not emotionally available at all.
Yeah.
So my thought process was, I could be.
Boogie claimed like numerous girlfriends during this time period as well. Even though he's like, I wasn't emotionally available, he claimed outside of sugaring numerous girlfriends. Numerous girlfriends, including ones that he was like riding. Numerous ones. This is the thing. Like, Boogie has acted like he was like drowning in pussy from the second the divorce happened until he met Des too. Genuinely, that is how he's claimed his life has been. And now we're at the point of 40,000 for sugar babies. Over a quarter of it to one, seemingly at least half it for another. So we're talking maybe 3 sugar babies out of the 48 million women he's claimed to have dated. Like, Boogie, what about the 2 half sisters? Did you fucking forget about them? What about them? You paid for 2 for one night. What about them? You know, the ones that Logan Paul also was apparently with. If Logan Paul was paying for them, I'm pretty sure they probably cost a lot of money. Have you forgotten about that little storyline yet? Outstanding.
Financially available, and so maybe I can do that. Maybe I can feel like the hero. Maybe I can feel good.
I can feel like
maybe
the hero.
Be appreciated.
I can be a dad to an autistic kid,
and in the process, have the companionship I was looking for. But I also knew, I knew I couldn't date after that divorce.
And this is a sex work.
Oh my Christ! I have him on the H3 podcast claiming to be dating after it.
We're talking about with
Well, no. Again, they're in the same genre, but it's very different from what you're imagining. Yeah, it's very different from what you're imagining.
I can't imagine this. That's the problem. And you're
right.
I
mean, like sex is a lot of the times not like tertiary. It's like it's all the way in the back. That's something that will happen most of the time, but it's no.
For most of them, tertiary. It's a tertiary thing. It's all the way in the back. But also for most of them, yes, they decide to sleep with me. I can't. Boogie's claim that all of these LA 10, 20-year-olds that he was paying their autistic kids to go to school and shit like that, all of them then choosing out of the goodness of their hearts to all also sleep with him as well, is my favorite storyline. It's my favorite storyline.
So you think that...
oh my god.
No, I'm not surprised you said
this is insane.
Do you think Charlie's was like extra brutal? I thought he sounded like a fucking prude.
I watched it.
I think he sounded like a prude that deliberately took you out of context.
No,
that's what it sounded. I think.
Did he add a fart sound effect? Look at him. I think he looks a wee bit happy that they're starting to shit on Charlie, because he wouldn't dare shit on Charlie himself, but he's happy for someone else to do it. Never done tertiary. It's like doggy. I think if we're talking sex tiers, I think tertiary is literally like a foot job. I think that is a tertiary fuck. Because like a blowjob is like secondary, and then the primary is obviously like just normal sex. I think that's like that. He's cutting out. Chugga, you've said that before. You said that before. I don't believe you.
I'm afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to say that.
I watched it on.
Like he deliberately took you out of context, and while you were saying this is all the stupid stuff I done with the money, he took that somehow, some way as I demand women, I deserve women, I'm entitled.
He literally used the word deserve. I think I'm going to be generous to Tommy, because I have messed up massively before. I do cut out now and then, but it's very quick. That's very weird. I don't know why. I have honestly no idea why, guys. Sorry. I've already put it around, so not sure. God damn it, I messed up. Because I messed up before. I am assuming he has just misheard, because Boogie did outright say, I deserve to go with a beautiful woman to Times Center. To Times Square. That is directly what Boogie says. So I'm assuming Tommy C has just misheard him. I'm going to cut him slack.
To LA 10s. I don't know how he twisted that. And Wings.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
You felt the same way when you wrote that when you saw that, right?
I heard when Boogie said that he was being sarcastic.
Oh my god, literally, it didn't happen. He was being sarcastic. Fucking stone-faced.
I think
that's what I thought.
Yes, I thought Charlie was.
When I disagree.
Well, from the horse's mouth. When I said that,
from the horse, Boogie. I would listen to either of these two about your life before I listen to you about your life. From the horse's mouth. Like he is going to drop us some fucking truth bombs here. Okay, bro.
Buckle up, boys. If you listen to if you listen to it, right, it's clearly past tense.
I thought you were talking in the past tense.
No, you didn't. You said he was talking sarcastic. Well, firstly you said Charlie pulled it out of his ass. Then he said it was sarcastic. Then you agreed with him that it was sarcastic. And now you're agreeing with him that it was not sarcasm, but instead it was past tense, and he believed this in the past and no longer believes this. Tommy, cutting you some slack, because like I said, I liked your solo podcast you did, but you're kind of all over the place with this point. You really are. I'm not sure if he doesn't like Charlie or something like that, but he's all over the place here.
I didn't. I thought you were saying, like he's saying you were being sarcastic. That's how Wings took it. I took it as sarcasm, but sarcasm in the sense is this is what an idiot I was. This is why I blew all this fucking money.
Yeah, right? And that's
my biggest issue.
So I watched Charlie's.
My biggest issue.
I watched Charlie's video on live stream.
Right?
So.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Wings means that.
Like
I think he does.
Collection. He spends his money the way he spends his money. Like I'm not here to judge Charlie, right? But he's not going broke either, right? And I'm a huge fan of Charlie, so I might be a little bit biased. But here's how I took Charlie.
Oh my! You literally last year said he bullied you for being autistic. Without actually having watched the podcast, because he wasn't even on the podcast, you said that Charlie bullied you for being autistic, which was firstly, before you even, because right now he's claiming he is actually being diagnosed as autistic, so this is before he even was pretending to be potentially actually diagnosed as autistic, and also before he'd even watched the podcast, and he said, like, Moist Critical bullied me for being autistic.
You're a bad person that walks up to the door to abuse women. How can you think he's okay? Come on now. I don't even think that about you.
He didn't even say it was okay to abuse women. He said he just I don't know, doesn't hold women in high regard. He just thinks he deserves a woman, like to fuck women, which I do agree with. I do not think Boogie thinks highly of women. I have seen Boogie like tweeting about how women only want to marry you so they can take half your shit. Boogie seems to like incapable to think that women he meets might be better off than him and might actually bring money into the relationship. He thinks they just want to marry me to steal my shit.
No, man, I don't like you and I just argued for 30 minutes. I don't have a bad bone in my body for you.
Yeah,
sure.
I can't hate you.
Oh my god, no, he's just sucking dick. This is when he's going peak manipulative. We saw it when like Charlie criticized him. Boogie came out, oh my god, I actually love Charlie so much, even though he claimed Charlie like is literally a bully and bullies autistic people. Turkey Tom started off their confrontation where he was like shitting all over Turkey Tom on Twitter. Second they met for their confrontation, I'm a really big, you might not like me, but I'm such a big fan of you. He does it constantly. Like, just constant. Everyone. Has there ever been anyone that Boogie hasn't contacted where he's like apart from me, actually, I genuinely think I'm the only person that he hasn't said, I like their stuff. I'm a big fan of theirs. Too bad they're mean to me. I think I'm genuinely the only person he has never said that for. And I think that is purely, will one day contact me. He probably will one day. If I ever get big enough, he'll contact me. But I think I'm the only person he has never said that for. And that is because, like, when I make videos on him, it is not like, especially back in the day, it wasn't just like purely reaction content like it is now. It was like me actually like recording shit and like showing evidence on screen and talking about bad shit he did. so I don't think he even can, because his only time he's ever really commented on my work, apart from to call me pathetic numerous times, is to say he's very wrong about me. He's very often very wrong about me, but he couldn't name a single thing after that what I was wrong about, because when I talk about him, I generally show like tweets and stuff like that to back up.
I know you're fucked up. I can't hate you.
I can hate him. I don't care. The world is mean because he's got 4 million views on that.
I disagree with that opinion. It's like Boogie's fucked up, so you can hate him. So you can't hate him. I disagree with that. I don't think Boogie is as fucked up as he wants people to believe he is.
Video critiquing your documentary, which took months to make.
Yeah,
and he's gonna make like more money than anybody in this.
This is my only... Okay, this is one of my biggest issues with... Because I was about to say only, but biggest issue with Wings of Redemption. Because I do not dislike him like a lot of his haters dislike him. My biggest issue is when I was watching Wings of Redemption, a lot of his stuff for his reaction to Boogie was fun. But then when he talked about like June the King and Sonny V2 and all, he hated them. He spoke with like venom in his voice about how much he fucking hates them and they're nothing compared to this documentary and shit like that. Like, Wings genuinely... like. I don't know, when it comes to like people shitting on people online, he immediately has a spasm. Obviously because he's been negatively affected by it, but he instantly has like a fucking spasm in it. And it's so weird that your one takeaway from all of this is, well, Charlie's rich and he makes lots of money. It's weird that is... I wasn't sure if he was joking earlier on when he said that about my biggest issue is Charlie's a multi-millionaire. I wasn't sure if he was joking or leading up to something, but if his honestly, God, his point is that Charlie's making lots of money by talking about this. It's like, so? You made lots of money talking about it.
I watched Charlie's video.
Sure you did.
And
you did actually.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
No, you didn't.
But
towards the end, he got bored and started phoning Mike Klum to like try and get Mike Klum to like back him up on stuff.
He did go in really fucking hard, and I do feel like maybe he misinterpreted some parts of it here and there. But here's the thing: when you put a piece of art out in the world, me and Mike Klum had like a 3-hour conversation
about
of art.
This.
Fair enough.
And like he had to talk me off the ledge. God bless Mike for that. But we were up to like 4 o'clock that night after Charlie's video dropped.
He had to talk you off the ledge? Are we getting like more fucking I'm gonna end myself hints here or something like that? What the fuck? He had to talk me off. I had a 3-hour conversation after Charlie's video dropped, guys. I bet Mike Lum was loving it. He was so happy that Charlie talked about it because it boosted his views by like 1 million instantly.
And like
Jesus Christ.
I ultimately figured out during the conversation is like when you put a piece of art out of the world, people are going to interpret it how they interpret it. And Charlie interpreted it that way. I know what my intentions was with it. Mike knows what his intentions was with it. But it doesn't matter what your intentions are.
Well, don't you think he's a little bit of phony? Does he think he's being a little bit of phony? Because on one hand, he's saying, I watched this and it's really sad. He starts and ends the video off. And in the middle, you're a bad person. Well,
yeah.
Why is he sad about a bad person?
That doesn't make any sense. Genuinely, like, if something bad happened to, like, Boogie, like, I would be like, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I don't like Boogie. I think he's a very bad person. Like, I wouldn't go like, I fucking hate him, because I don't care that much. Anyone who watches just knows that about me. But, like, if something bad happened to him, like, I remember saying, because, like, I was talking to someone about it, and they said, like, it's back when I did, like, the monthly recaps. I said, any reason you wouldn't do them? And I said, like, well, I wouldn't do a monthly recap if something really bad happened during that month. This is before I quit doing them. But I was just like, if Sammy died or something like that, I wouldn't do something, because he's probably gone through enough that month, I think that would be harsh. You know, like I could still feel bad for him, even though I think he is genuinely like a really bad person. Like I think Tommy C, I don't get it. Like someone's called him autistic earlier on. I'm seeing it now. Whoever said that, I'm kind of seeing it now because like I don't agree with that. I think you can feel sorry for someone even if they're a bad person, especially if you're only saying they're a bad person. Like Charlie was saying, he's like thinks he's a bad person. He wasn't calling him like Hitler or awful.
I don't know.
I don't get that.
At the end of the day, he
exactly,
might be
yeah.
the showbiz aspect of it. I do want.
And now Charlie's not being honest about his opinion. He's leaning into the showbiz. He literally claimed the same thing about me. He claimed the same thing about me. It's like, I realized that darn Irishman, he actually doesn't even believe what he says, guys. Yep, I found that out. He actually doesn't even believe what he says. And I was just like, bro, you've never even spoken to me before. And now you're saying that I don't believe my criticisms of you, that I must think you're an amazing, great person. He literally said he doesn't believe what he says, and he is doing this for my attention. That is literally what Boogie took away from that. And now Boogie's just kind of doing the same, I guess, for like for Charlie. Boogie manipulated Tommy C. Yeah, kind of. I can see it.
Oh, so you are saying he's a phony? That he's
I'm not saying he's
jumping on the bandwagon.
I'm saying he's an entertainer. Let's take.
Do you know how he's manipulating Tommy C? Is because he sees Tommy C has an issue with Charlie. I don't know why. Tommy C has an issue with Charlie because Tommy C just seems to be misremembering this, and he sees that Tommy C has an issue with Charlie. So now he is playing his opinion. His opinion has changed on Charlie's video already. He has changed his opinion to start to give way to Tommy's, so to create a common ground. It's a very standard manipulation tactic. You're like kind of pretending you agree with someone to like make them friendly with you, to make them go easier on you. You're uniting against a common enemy. It's just a manipulation tactic he's going for, and Tommy kind of seems like he's falling for it.
Keemstar, for example. I'm going to talk shit about Keemstar. Love to do that. Okay. Keemstar genuinely is a good person. I hate to admit that. But I've spent enough time around Keemstar to where I can tell you he cares about people. He cared about etiquette. He cares about me.
The etiquette stuff they put.
Right?
No, the etiquette stuff. That whole thing they did to Keem on the etiquette stuff is bullshit.
What about what Boogie did in the etiquette stuff? Are we gonna cover that? Is Boogie gonna bring that one up? Even Clum mentioned the etiquette stuff briefly in an interview. He didn't want to cover it because Boogie, because he said it was well covered already. So are we gonna mention what Boogie did with the etiquette stuff? No.
Right, but what I'm saying
I wouldn't say he's a nice person.
But Keemstar will play the bad guy online as much as he can, and he can be an actual bad guy quite a bit too. But he will hype it up 10 times, 20 times for the entertainment value, because at the end of the day, I don't think Keemstar is a phony. I think he's an entertainer.
No. For sure.
See, Boogie's saying this is his deflection, because he's trying to tie himself and Keemstar, you know? He's trying to tie himself to Keemstar, which people believe it or not about Keemstar. Like I said, I think Keem's like, okay, I don't know a lot about his like major drama, so I couldn't really tell you on like his quality of a person. My main thing is I think he's quite necessary to the drama sphere online. But Boogie's trying to tie himself in with the Keemstar image of, well, see, the thing is, Keem's actually a good person in real life, guys, but he plays the bad guy online. He kind of hams everything up because he's a great entertainer. Kind of like me, cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because I'm actually a really good guy in real life, but I play it up online, but I'm also a really good guy in real life, just so you know, but I'm a natural, that kind of shit. Wings is bored of this shit. I don't know why this has been genuinely half of the podcast so far. I'm feeling Wings here. I think we should get a new topic.
Sure. No,
and I think Charlie was trying to be the most entertaining he could for his video.
So Boogie's not at the point where Charlie outright does not believe he's a bad person, similar to the claim he made about me, and that Charlie was lying to be entertaining by calling Boogie a bad person, which I don't think that was like an entertaining part of the video. I don't know anyone else who watched that. Did you come away going like, oh, that bit where he said Boogie's a bad person, that was really entertaining? Did anyone come away with that, you know?
I agree with you what you said about Cameron. Like, he does put it on. He does play the bad guy. And yes, he's crossed the zone in the bad guy. But I think it's so. But what you're telling, see, that's not
he's
the kind
sucking
of
dick
audience
hard
Charlie
much.
has. Charlie has an audience.
Yeah, Charlie was definitely serious. He was.
They want to believe that he is who he appears to be.
Well, I think
I believe Charlie was entirely serious. I don't see anything that was being dishonest. I watched the official podcast, and Charlie had very similar attitudes there. I 100%. Charlie's being Andy Kaufman. That was like, just for that 1 second, he's being Andy Kaufman. Just for that one sentence, he was Andy Kaufman. Boogie, I'm amazed Boogie didn't notice it, because it was like really obvious he was being Andy Kaufman. I don't know why you guys didn't notice. His Andy Kaufman shit it's generally the most pathetic argument Boogie uses, because it is just one of those ones that's like, Boogie, you've been claiming the Andy Kaufman shit for literally years now, and it just doesn't work. And it's just the fact that you keep trying to use it is actually kind of pathetic. It's more pathetic than the, I'm going to end myself, guys. Oh, I was going to end myself. And it's more pathetic than that you keep going to fucking Andy Kaufman.
It just,
Again,
like,
he is.
It sounded like a weird contradiction. I feel bad for this guy, yet he essentially thinks you.
It's not a contradiction. I think it's just dumb.
Like that's literally.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of without using.
I actually do. I actually would argue that I think Boogie does see like women as like more objects. I do. Like the way he treats like Des too, the way he talks about her, the way he talks about his ex-wife now. I've always joked he has quite an incel audience. I have always joked that. Because his audience are fucking weirdos. I just think that, yeah, but I think Boogie does see women as, like, sexual objects. The fact that the way he talks about them so often, that's all I have to go with now. I think this is a bit much. I think we probably should move on from here. Because now it just feels like they're just bitching about Charlie. And Boogie is just more than happy to play along with this because he's no longer the center focus. It is just complaining about Charlie being critical of him.
Using the word.
Some would say being moist critical of him. It would be funny if I didn't mess up saying critical. Fuck.
Yeah, narcissist.
I mean, he might actually say that.
Narcissist.
He is a narcissist.
Like I said,
fair.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think I'm finally able to admit that I'm a covert narcissist. It's something I'm working on.
Yeah.
But that said,
sure,
fair enough.
It's something I'm working on. You quit therapy. What the guys? I'm working on my covert narcissism by quitting therapy. Oh, that's so stupid. Oh my god. The way he talks about women in general, even his new girlfriend, he talks about her as an object. Yeah, I agree, Happy. I really do. Like, the way he calls her in, like, his streams, like, he calls her like a dog. He really does. He calls her to come like a dog. I remember at the start of one of his streams before the documentary came out, where he was, like, repeatedly trying to, like, talk her into, like, coming on camera and, like, standing in front of the camera. Like he was just wanting to show her off. And she, like, didn't, and he kept going at it. And I was like, bro, if she doesn't want to be on camera, leave her the fuck alone. You're the one who says she has social anxiety issues. Where the fuck are you trying to get her on apart from to show her off? Because he immediately brings her on and goes, look how beautiful she is. Look how attractive. She's beautiful. Look how gorgeous she is, guys. And then like he'll call her in at a different point in the document in the live stream, and he'd be like, everyone's just sitting here talking about how attractive you are. They're all sitting talking about how beautiful you are. They're all just saying you're so beautiful. And it's like, is that all she is to you? Like, genuinely, is that all she is to you? Is like her attractiveness level? The LA 10 thing, the Arkansas 8 and the LA 10. Is that it? Is that it? Because he doesn't say anything else about her. That's all we know. He called her like when he was comparing her to Des, he said Des was like fat and angry, and she is like easygoing, which I don't really think is like a great thing. It sounds like easy to manipulate. When you say easygoing about someone like that, you make it sound like easy to manipulate and very attractive. That's all he has. That's all he has. Des is the North Tyrone 5. I would say she's the North Tyrone like 6. Because like Tyrone, like she seems to have like 5 fingers on each hand. Oh, sorry, 4 fingers and a thumb on each hand. That's better than using it. They don't look too fucking webbed.
I think Charlie.
Oh my god! Okay, can we move on? I'm done.
That, but has hyped it up a little bit for the video, right?
No, and now you say he thinks that, but hyped it up. So how does he hype it up when he just says he thinks you're a bad person? How is that? How can you hype that up? If he was hyping up thinking you're a bad person, he would have said like you were Hitler or like the worst person you ever lived. That's hyping it up.
Like, you know, like one of his classic memes is when he's like, woo! He's probably not that excited. He's being sarcastic for entertainment value.
That's a bit different. Do you not realize that that's different? Like, like when I'm shouting and stuff like this, I sometimes you egg it up a wee bit, but like you're egging up like emotion and stuff like that. You're not egging up your points. When I'm like laughing about something, it's because I find it funny. I'm not like egging up as like, oh, that's not actually funny, but I'll laugh at it to like egg up to act like it's funny. Like that doesn't make sense. My point still is my point.
Maybe that's what he was doing.
I don't think
here,
it makes any sense. I don't think he
I do
feel
think
bad
there's a
for
grain
you.
of truth. I think there's a grain of truth that he thinks I'm a piece of shit.
Sleepy, why is Charlie the enemy of the podcast now? Charlie's the enemy of the podcast right now because he was brought up like fucking, I don't know, 20 minutes ago now it feels like. and Tommy C decided to go in on him a little bit, and Boogie realizes that it is a really good way to manipulate someone by finding common ground and turning someone else into the enemy, just like he does with his fan base all the time, when he'll say, like, all the people criticizing me, they're all QAnon conspiracy theorists, MAGA, guys who hate black people and gay people. That is a claim Boogie has made. That is a claim. Remember when he said he got cancer? And he said, I had to ban over 200 accounts that already are mocking me about having cancer, which, by the way, he didn't even have 200 comments by that point. But he said all of them were like QAnon conspiracy theorists, anti-LGBT, who were like trolling people and doxing people. All this ridiculous claim, because that's what he does. It's like what DSP does, where DSP always talks about people are coming after me and trying to take me down and ruin me and bankrupt me, guys. You whales need to donate extra hard today to beat the haters because they're trying to ruin me. It's like when I always say, the worst thing anyone ever could do for DSP to get him more love and more money is when people like do a copyright claim about like a song or a piece of art. You remember they did that a while ago on DSP? He got more money than he ever usually would because he then has an enemy he can point at and go, guys, I'm under attack. I need extra help now because they've ruined things. Even if they, in no way, what they did took away money from him, he's able to quickly just say, I'm being attacked by a guy. I need extra support right now. And people donate. And people, that's what Boogie's doing right now. Boogie is like playing, this guy is the enemy now. Let's focus on him because we're building a bit of a bond here and it's getting away from focusing on me.
Yeah. And here's why, because I am kind of a piece of shit.
Yes.
And
this is another manipulation method where he kind of gives a mile, like gives an inch, and he's like, well, to be fair, I am a bit of a piece of shit. But then when you say, okay, Boogie, what do you do? It is always like the Vegas shit, or like the kind of like, he'll say something that could also be seen as a good scene. Like, I remember one time where he was like talking about like how creepy he was, and like he talked about his favorite fetish, and his favorite fetish was to like treat people nice and be kind to people. It was like so cringe.
Definitely fucked up, but it's some really stupid shit.
I don't think you're a piece of shit, but you're manipulative.
Talking about being manipulative,
yeah, I mean,
piece of shit.
Like, I think that comes with Covert.
Job interview.
You are here today.
Oh, okay, here we are.
You are seeking...
I'm so uninterested in this job interview thing now because Boogie has just changed his opinion on it so many times, and even Clum outright said like, yes, it was like a real thing we set up. But Boogie, because someone's asked, is Boogie acting real? And even Clum was like, well, I don't define being authentic because it's Boogie. And that's pretty much saying, is he doesn't know because like Boogie is such an unauthentic person, he is likely to go in there and he just does anything. And like people say, oh, I was doing Andy Kaufman. He was making these exact same claims last year when people told him to get a job. This is how he wants to portray himself with getting a job. This is how he wants to, because he doesn't want a job.
Employment.
Yeah, I am disabled. Downside.
Yeah, I'll be richer getting paid without saying a word. Exactly.
I have no references, no work history, and no education.
I
Google my name.
I'm going to be bored by this because I've seen this so many times now, and the claim is just so dumb and boring.
I'm also a felon.
What's the nature of your felony?
Aggravated assault. I did work in the porn industry for the better part of 7 years, so I mean.
Be real with me. Do you really think
we're going up a bit here because I'm sorry.
It depended on the job, I would think.
I thought that was a work.
No, yeah, I thought it was a work too. I thought it was a fucking actress you put in.
I'll tell you what it was. It was him trying to get out of this fucking podcast. He went into that interview, sitting there telling everything that you shouldn't say.
Well, again, I didn't want to get out of the podcast.
You didn't want to work. You didn't want to work.
Yeah, I actually agree with Tommy C here. He called out. He thinks Boogie is trying to torpedo the podcast because apparently Boogie was like threatening to walk several times. If you do this, I'll walk. If you do this, I'll walk. If you do this, before he brought in Keemstar. Boogie was threatening to walk from the podcast. I think Boogie wants to be able to blame everyone else for his failures and not him. I think that is what Boogie wants to do.
You don't want to work.
I'm here. Like, if I didn't want to work, I wouldn't work. Yeah. No, but there, I'll tell you what.
Are you sure about that?
Actually happened, and Michael confirmed this. We went into it with every intention of, would it actually be possible to get a job? That's the fingers crossed, right? And so we do, like, before the cameras are rolling, we sit down and we talk a little bit.
Michael has not confirmed this.
It's very clear from the get.
Michael has not confirmed this. I have watched every interview with Clum. Who knows? Maybe 1% chance I'm wrong. If anyone has seen this, let me know. A PDF file? I did not. I did not. If anyone has seen this 1% chance that Clum said, yes, we filmed beforehand and we realized it was not going to work out, so Boogie decided to have fun and play around. I'm sorry. I haven't seen him say that. I've seen him talk about this numerous times. I haven't seen him say that once.
This company has no interest in me. Yeah. So we basically decided to.
Boogie claimed this was not Boogie has claimed this was not a company to do with hiring. This was literally he was meant to go in and mess it up so she could give him advice on how better to do one. That's what Boogie has claimed as well. Boogie has changed his opinion on this 50 fucking times.
Porn industry.
Right, I decided to do the Andy Kaufman thing.
I decided to do the Andy Kaufman thing by not being funny, apparently.
Just try to be fucking hilarious.
That was
yeah, okay.
Because we already found out that this shit's shut down. Like,
Jesus
this is a
Christ.
non-starter. We are here, and we are wasting our time. There's nothing this company has. No.
Charlie thinks you sandbagged it. Charlie
Yes,
thinks you
I know,
sandbagged
that's how I said it.
I kind of thought
He
that
did.
too.
There's some film on
He
the
did.
cutting room floor that happened in between some of the conversations that we've seen.
Yeah, there's the extended cuts, which you can see, but then there's also stuff that was said when the camera wasn't even.
See, the biggest problem is Boogie said, I'm going to release the extended cut, and that's going to prove it to you guys, and it's going to show you that I was right. And then he released it, and it changed no one's opinion, because there's like, the stuff they cut from it was not that. It was just him kind of talking about his YouTube career bit, and he did a bit of a Francis impression, that kind of shit. Boogie has now realized that the extended cut doesn't clear him like he said it was going to. And I was like, oh, actually, it all happened off camera, guys, and Mike Klum confirmed this. He didn't.
Rolling. And so at the end of the day, it was a real job interview. We went in there in the hopes of this company.
Now it was a real fucking job interview. Boogie said it wasn't. I have like so many clips of Boogie saying it wasn't. I have so many clips of him saying it wasn't a real job interview. Whoa! Why are you doing this to me, Boogie? Why do you keep lying? Why are you so shit? This is why the video's not out, guys. This is why the video is not out. Because every time a new video comes out, there's something different or something new. This is why. Remember when I was doing like the monthly recaps, I would just start and say, okay guys, just so you know, I'm not covering this or this or this anymore. And I just say that at the start of my monthly recaps. Because they changed so often, I didn't want to cover them anymore because they were so fucking boring. That is so much of this documentary on Boogie. He has given so much conflicting information that is like, bro, can we just not?
Would be able to do something for me, but it became abundantly clear almost right away that the most this was going to get to be was a good mock interview, and we practiced.
Well, see, that
so I
doesn't
pulled
make
my
any
Andy
sense
Kaufman
because
shit.
that doesn't make any sense because at one point the woman says to you, "Do you think bringing up porn would be a good idea?"
Well, she was trying to like train me, like that's what they do.
Oh, that was what it was.
And now it's not a real job interview anymore. It's training. It's a mock interview. It's training. Literally, in this one statement Boogie has made, it has gone from being a real job interview to a mock job interview that was for training purposes.
Yeah, they're basically like a headhunter.
So Charlie misunderstood.
They're going to send you on interviews.
Yeah. So Charlie,
Even his fucking microphone didn't believe that in face palmed. Even his microphone just gave up and was like, "Bro, I can't. I'm already 5,000."
misunderstood that because he took that as you were trying to sandbag the whole thing.
Yeah, that place is basically like a headhunter place. Once they like approve of you, then they'll send you out to companies that need that kind of person.
Yeah, it's like a temp agency. Yeah, bro. We all got that. We all got that. Thanks, Boogie.
And so it was basically a mock interview.
You had the greatest response of all time.
Mark Boogie has claimed that he has been in porn videos, that he filmed porn videos, that he was the star of porn video. Boogie has made many claims about the porn industry thing.
Right,
do you know what you said? Do you know what you said was brilliant? When she said to you, "Do you think that would be a good idea to say on an interview?" And you just look at your hands and look up and say,
"It depended on the job, I would think."
That's the correct answer.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's the funniest part. You're not wrong.
There is another video that will go live on my channel a little bit, but we
I can't wait.
worked with this guy who was like a fitness trainer, right? Gotcha. And almost immediately we realized it was not a good fit. This guy is used to training like.
Okay, see, Boogie making this claim repeatedly. See, we, quote unquote, we realized Klum fully intended this to be real. Because I heard Klum talk about this. Klum said he cut it because it didn't. He said himself he cut it because it didn't fit the tone of the documentary. Because apparently Boogie just fucks around. He doesn't take any of the stuff seriously. It's why I said at the time why I didn't believe it was real, because I was like, this is a promo reel for Boogie. Because Boogie would do shit like he would release like, here's a picture on a video of me eating a burrito in the bathtub for my documentary. I was like, why the fuck is this in a documentary? Why is this in a documentary? This doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would this be in a documentary? Apparently they hired like a beautician for Boogie, a girlfriend for a date, a fitness person, everything like that. And Klum pretty much said, Boogie just kind of went in there and just started fucking around. He just started fucking around with these people. And that's why he said about the authentic thing, because someone said, how authentic was he? And he's like, well, I don't know, how authentic can Boogie be? He's an entertainer. He just went in and was just fucking around. You know? So, like, no. Like, these all seem to be real. Boogie just seemed to not take any of it seriously.
athletes, and I can't do a fraction of what he wants me to do. Yeah. He's like, oh, let's do 1,000 push-ups. Let's do like 10 million fucking...
I'm pretty sure you didn't say that, Boogie, but thanks. Okay, let's lie.
Setups, right? And I'm like, dude, I can't stand up. And so that one also comes across as...
personal trainers, like, they work with you based on your fitness levels. So like Boogie, I know Boogie is just lying here because he's Andy Kaufman again suddenly because that worked every other time for him. but personal trainers work with you based on your physical requirements.
When watching it, it's pretty clear that I'm kind of like.
I feel your pain.
It's not in the actual thing.
I feel your pain here.
It's pretty clear that I start trolling that guy like right away. Like I'm fucking with that guy from once I.
Yeah, which means that you were fucking with the job interview person as well. If you're bringing this up as a side-by-side comparison piece, it means that you weren't taking the job interview seriously and you were fucking with them as well. Which means that you weren't doing things seriously. Which, does he not get this? Does he not get that's not actually, that doesn't help him?
Realize that this isn't a good fit.
What are hopes? Yep, very good.
It, you know? I remember getting in a fight with a personal trainer because he wanted me to do things I couldn't fucking do. I'm like, dog, I'm 400 pounds. You want me to like do sled pushes into fucking crunches and all this other shit? I'm like, dude.
Do crunches, pussy! Get on that foot punches and fight, pussy!
I can pay somebody less money to count to 10. I need you to customize me a fucking workout.
The biggest problem is, okay, just for like the LolCow podcast in general, they obviously aren't going to watch this, but like the biggest problem is when you guys are out here, you really like, because I know he was like, you know, kind of reining Boogie in during the Muda thing, the I never did thing over and over again. I know he's like pulling him in a wee bit, but the problem is we have seen all of these claims, all of these talking points being done 20 times before this episode came out. Like I have to admit, I'm at the point now where I'm just like, I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of bored because I've heard all of this numerous times before, and the only thing I'm looking at is like Boogie's like lies and his fake responses in case I want to put them in the video as well as potentially more evidence of him lying and changing his story. But right now it's just like, can we maybe get to something funny or something unique as opposed to just asking pretty much Boogie's opinion on the documentary he's already give his opinion on 20 times already, and everyone else is giving their opinion on.
That's what I pay you.
Andrew R, thank you very much. Whiskey Fund, or maybe Xanax seems more suitable. Did I come across like a wee bit beaten by this? Because I feel like I come across like a wee bit beaten by this. I was really looking forward to this, and I'm like, it's just like Boogie kind of just is given a soapbox to sit here and talk and look sad on, so people will feel sorry for him and forgive him. That's all. That's literally all it is so far.
Well, I'll tell you. So I've done personal trainer and I've done physical therapy, and they were night and fucking day.
Have you?
The personal trainer.
I'm a negative Nazi. I am Lee.
The physical trainer was just trying to help me get better. And so the very first time I went in and did physical therapy, we did like a fraction of what I would do at the gym just when I was swimming last year, right? So.
This is pre-recorded, so we talk about Dark Me. That's also another reason to do it live, because you get it out a lot faster. If you do it live, it means they can get their opinion out a lot faster, and we don't have to sit here and wait for several days. So by the time it comes out, everyone else in the world has already talked about this, you know? So I think that is one of the negatives. I think it would just be better doing it live.
At the end of it, I'm like, I feel like I didn't get my money's worth today, because physical therapy is fucking expensive, man. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth.
I know, I've done it myself. It's a bunch of
not as expensive as pussy, but it's pretty expensive.
And so he says,
well, it's only $40,000 for 4 years or 3 years or whatever.
What that therapist did was he targeted my problem areas. A personal trainer, some personal trainers,
yes, they will.
But a lot of personal trainers are just going to push you like you're an athlete.
They won't. Fucking Boogie out here pretending. Oh, I got a personal trainer and he pushed me like I was an athlete. No, he didn't. I'm going to put a full stop right there. No, he didn't. He didn't. Someone didn't look at you, 400 and whatever pounds, and be like, give me 4,000 crunches. No one thought that. No one thought that. Stop it.
Me like I'm injured because I'm injured.
PTs
right?
do work on certain areas as well.
If you are an obese person and you're trying to get better, make sure your physical trainer has worked with other obese people, has an education to work with other.
Oh, let's stop talking. Nobody wants to hear about
physical therapy. Get in the fucking.
Tommy C, you could have said that 15 minutes ago.
They want to talk about your goddamn video.
No, they don't. Not anymore.
Anyway, the point that I'm making is like that. That's another one that hopefully one of the extended clips up, and it just shows like sometimes it's not a good match. Let's just have fun with it, you know.
Wait, so you think you getting a job is you not having a good match? So let's just have fun with it. I love Boogie equates him getting a job with him training like an athlete. He thinks those two are apparently the same level. I don't think he realizes how fucking stupid that sounds or bad that looks for him. But like, oh Christ.
How'd your girlfriend take it?
Andrew, yeah, you're right. 3.5 million this quickly. I was not expecting that. I think like Charlie giving a shout out really helped it, and I'm happy for Clum. You know, I do think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty fun. Looking forward to his next one. I think it's probably going to be the Trisha Paytas one. I'm looking forward to it.
Pretty well. you know, she's pretty open-minded about showing off her body and stuff like
I'll
that.
say.
And
Yeah. Even though she has issues, she has body confidence issues, she has low self-esteem, she has anxiety, everything like that, but she's happy to get naked.
Real ride or die.
Andrew, yeah, it is, yeah.
You ain't wrong. She's been doing pretty well with it. Some people have been kind of shitty, but you know that's always going to happen. But the vast majority of people are just really sweet to her, and I'm actually really grateful for the community for just being like so fucking nice to her. It helps her, it helps me, it helps everybody.
Hypothetical fucking Boogie.
Yeah, hit me. Yeah, go ahead.
If you were dating your current girlfriend and the Frank Castle shit popped up, you think she would have handled it so you wouldn't have to?
She would have smoked them.
She would have if she wanted to, but I wouldn't have opened the door if there was a chance that she would have got hurt. Like I would have opened the door. The reason I opened the door with Frank is I just didn't give a shit.
Boom!
No, Boogie.
Got you a subscriber.
No, you opened the door in the Frank House situation because you said yourself that you were opening the door to try and save the lives of the people and your dogs. And now, if he had a girlfriend in there, he wouldn't try and save the lives of the people inside or something, I guess. Okay, Boogie, that's a fantastic claim. Like, God, I love this. It's like, would she have handled it for you? She apparently can't even go to Walmart by herself.
I feel like she would handle it better than you did. I think she'd get in his face.
Probably the AC Repairman. The AC Repairman is my favorite story in the entire Boogieverse. Just some random guy holding Sammy and just going, "Can you please leave so I can leave?" It's so funny.
Finger and lay it down. Because he ain't gonna hit her.
She would have fanned on that revolver and smoked him.
She might have. She might have, man. But you know, at the end of the day, as open as she was, her family was they watched the doc and they were really supportive. Really? I was shocked.
This is like we're going into like fantasy land here. Our daughter got naked for a documentary to lie on top of a bathtub of a big fat weird guy. Fantastic, darling. You're making something of yourself, darling. It's like I said, he can't just lie a little. It has to be a lot.
To buy that.
Her family knows about you? Holy
crap. Oh, yeah. I've met the family. We're having Thanksgiving together. They're actually really fantastic.
Sure, I believe you. Even though she's like traumatized and like she needs you to be her dad, but they're fantastic. It's a great family she's got.
Cooking extra fucking food to bring you over.
I'll tell you what her mom has said and her stepdad has said to me. They have said,
stay away from her.
No, they have said, look, you clearly make her very happy, and we just want her to be happy.
Can we not... Unless, Boogie, you know what, how about you just shut up about what everyone else says until they come on camera and, like, I don't know, fucking show their birth certificates to show that they're actually related to her. I don't care. I don't care about whatever you say because you also spoke on behalf of your ex-wife saying how you were protecting her and you didn't want the trolls to go after her because the trolls still go after her that day. And then Clum reveals that she actually sued you, threatened to sue you if you decided to fucking include her in the documentary. So can you not speak on behalf of people and like tell people what's actually happening behind the scenes?
But if you hurt her, we'll put you underground.
That's
basically what
you're about to say. His father asked you for Geritol advice or some shit like that.
You sure they don't think you're hiding money or something?
Yeah, exactly. If she had a good family, she wouldn't be a Boogie. That is as simple as that. Like, I don't care what people say about, like... Because, like, imagine you are Boogie. How much of the lottery did you have to win? That you met a 20-year-old girl... Sorry, 19 at the time. Sorry, possibly 18 at the time when she first messaged him. Like, a 19-year-old girl... who is really into your content in 2023, that's already unbelievable, who looks exactly like your ex-wife, who's really into old guys apparently, and her family are also totally okay and supportive of it. How lucky would you have to be to hit all of those points in a row? Like, how? Like, how ungodly lucky is this? Did he win the lottery 17 times in a row? Because it's a bit much. It is a bit much. And like, I'm sorry, I just it's cringe. That's all I have to say. It's cringe.
I thought she came off really good.
It wasn't the 200K on pussy. It was the fact your girlfriend was like mowing the grass. I'm like, they had to go to the park.
She wasn't even mowing the lawn.
That fucking lawnmower. Because Boogie didn't own that bitch before this documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we do have a lawnmower. I ain't never fucking started it.
Hey, baby, you know the lawn today. It's not looking really good.
This would be so much funner if we just cut this part of the screen off. If we cut 1/3 of the screen off, these two, like his with the Charlie thing was a bit like autistic, like. But Wings has been fine so far.
Like I get flack all the time because I have a person that mows my lawn, but like I ain't fucking doing it.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know?
But it's like, how's this little fucking?
How can you not do it? Boogie literally has claimed that he has walked. Like he walked. It was with I think Jacob the Carpetbagger. He said he walked 10 miles at Disney. And it's like, now he's like, I can't mow my lawn. It's like, why not? You walk 10 miles at Disney in one day. Why can't you mow your lawn?
Any girl out here had this push mower. Like,
how can you do a boxing match? You can't push a lawnmower.
Exactly. Yes.
So, I'll be honest with you. She's within earshot of me right now, so you know I'm telling the truth.
Sure.
I'm looking at her basically on the couch.
What's her name? I forgot.
Desi.
Desi.
Yeah. And by the way,
Desi.
It's Des too.
Hey.
Somebody said to me, they're like, "Why did you name her Desiree?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't fucking name her. Her parents. I think people think I made up that name for some reason.
I think people think I made up that name for some reason. Remember, this is a guy who claimed that he like puts out this information about girls he's with, so people can't track him down. And now he's like giving her full name and shit out. And he's like, for some reason, people. Anytime Boogie goes, for some reason, just immediately know whatever he says is a lie. For some reason, is literally him just saying, "I'm about to lie to you here."
The fuck? I don't understand.
Kind of
but anyway,
or I don't understand. Anytime he says, for some reason, or I don't understand, it means he just lied to you.
Parents named her that shit 21 years ago, almost 21 years ago.
Like, see, even that. Look at that face. Look at that face. Even that. He had to include her age. He just randomly had to let you know. By the way, this is how old she is. By the way, 20. By the way, yeah, hot 20-year-old. Yeah, by the way, that the fact that he had to do it is so fucking blatant.
Years old, he dated 21-year-old girl.
But she.
You know what's fucked up about this? Like when Boogie started his YouTube channel, his girlfriend was 3.
Well, good thing I didn't date her then. And I wouldn't have been interested. I'm interested now when she's 21, 20, turning 21.
You know, it's just fucked up.
She's
right?
not turning 21. She's not turning 21. She's 21 in like 5 months.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they looked him up back then, it wouldn't have said he's a pedophile like it did in the fucking movie.
If she wrote me on Instagram when I started my YouTube channel, she would have typed goo goo gaga. Like I wouldn't have been interested.
Would you? Really?
But the point that
I don't know. Maybe she play rubber duckies in the bathtub with you now. Oh, it's a bit much. Oh god. Surprised he didn't say 18 plus 3 years ago. 18 plus 2 years ago. You gotta keep it right. Gotta remind everyone she's 20 over and over and over again.
What I'm making is she seems to just really like helping out. Like she's always been a clean person, a neat person.
I
she likes taking care of.
She really likes helping out. She just doesn't want to get a job for some reason. It's really weird, guys. I just don't understand it.
She likes making a cozy place.
She's an angel.
Yeah, she loves to do that.
She's what you call a good woman.
Yeah, sure.
She's amazing.
Every day
I have a confession.
But a good woman.
Maybe this is good for the podcast.
Miracle,
I like
miracle. Yeah.
Although I haven't watched Desi as much. I'll be honest with you. But both your current girlfriends seem to be.
I'm married, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's married, man.
I like Kelly. I like her a lot. I like when she took over the show.
Really great.
I like when she took over the show world because you're too lazy to do it. She made a bunch of money for you. I watched that.
I think the more that people get to know Desi, the more they're just gonna like her. I'll tell you. Let me brag about her one more time, and then you can say whatever you want to say.
Goof on her.
I can't wait. He literally used that exactly. Let me brag one more time, but he literally said that for Des 1.
But she took all my old Christmas shit. I haven't bought Christmas shit in a long time, right? But I had like old garlands and like my tree I bought like 3 years ago. That and we spent like $40 at Walmart, and she has turned my living room into a fucking winter wonderland.
Let me brag about her. She put up Christmas decorations. Imagine like how like pathetic you must be if the only thing someone can brag about you is that you put up Christmas decorations. She can't get a job, but damn, can she put up a garland?
I'll share it eventually on social media.
Yeah, I think you already did.
It's so warm and cozy and wonderful in there, and it would not have looked like that shit had she not taken the time and the effort to put it together. And I love it. I'm so into that shit. I'm tired of living in piles.
I can't believe it. Remember Boogie puts out like 18,000 things a year for Halloween, and he's like trying to make it like a flex that his like fucking girlfriend can put up a fucking couple garlands. As if like this is like, hey guys, let me brag about her a little bit. And like it's like I'm surprised. It's the one time he didn't go, she's really attractive. Have I mentioned she's 20 and also really attractive? No, she's 20, really attractive, and can hang a garland.
Of garbage, like piles of amiibos and plastic shit, and the fact that she's like fixing my house for me makes me so fucking happy. So I don't know why I got so.
She does seem kind of ride or die. Like I look, I'm a cynical person, as you might know. That's probably why I got this role. I mean, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I want to know what her real fucking angle is. But if she does have an angle, and I'm not saying she does because I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, I saw the guy Adam, is it from Side Scrollers? And Clum, they were both kind of talking about it, saying like they're still trying to like figure her out. The guy from Side Scrolls in particular was like saying he's still trying to like figure her out. It seemed kind of weird.
Fact. She did a tremendous job of coming off absolutely genuine in that.
Yeah.
I still don't believe it. I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
You know what I
can't figure it out. You can't either. Exactly. Yeah.
I think her angle is.
I don't care what you think her angle is.
Like some girls like big fucking dudes.
Yeah, that's true. No, I've seen that before.
I think her angle is just like
She loves you, really?
Yeah, I think she just wanted to like have a happy life, man. She just wanted to have a happy life, and
she wanted to have a happy life, and she would have it with me, but not her family, who are apparently incredible and super supportive. So she needed to move out immediately and move in with me to have a happy life from that family, who are incredibly supportive of her, guys. See the way that doesn't make sense? Like, because he makes it sound like she needed to escape her family farm, because he claims that she lives in like a family farm in the middle of nowhere and she was lonely, and that's why she reached out to him. And the second he received a message from her, he just sensed that she was lonely. That is literally what he claimed. But now he's like claiming that her family are incredible and they're like the most supportive people in the entire world. So it doesn't really make sense that it's like, oh, well, she wants to be with me just so she's not alone anymore and so she's not judged. But her family are super supportive and they think he's incredible for her and everything like that, and don't judge her in any way. That feels weird when you see her at like the comedy club saying she likes Boogie because he doesn't judge her. That implies an issue with judgment somewhere. And if you say she doesn't really have any friends and she's never had a boyfriend, which by the way the doxers make it look like she has had boyfriends before, like where's this judgment coming from if her family are super accepting?
She thought that maybe I could be part of that happy life.
A broke ass guy that's overweight. Fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I said that
a 400-pound man who's overweight, 50 years old, well known for being manipulative and a bad person.
I've said this a million times. If you get with a woman who sees your potential, then that's the woman you fucking marry. And that girl sitting in there on the couch right now.
See this aggressive stance where he's like being like really forceful suddenly? This is manipulation tactic, because he's like trying to like impose like an actual like strength into it, an actual like belief into this, because it's like, this is what I believe, that you fucking marry a girl who's this fucking. It's him trying to get past it so you actually believe what he's saying, but it's so scripted. It's not like the Phil Pullman speech from fucking Independence Day.
Yeah, because that's the one you fooled.
Maybe.
I'll tell you a story. Can I say a story? Because I know this guy. This show's about you guys, but I'm going to tell a quick story. I want to say,
yeah, please.
Like, because we're on women's stuff, all right?
It's not even about you guys. It's just Boogie just talking the same points he talks constantly. Like, the only way to make this like podcast interesting is to cut Boogie out from like talking on live stream about himself, his videos, and his Twitter. Because everything we've seen from Boogie, we've seen 50 times already this week. Well, you would if you watched him in any way, I guess.
There's a band in New Jersey I was growing up. I was kind of involved in the New Jersey hardcore scene when I was a kid. And there's this band called Fury of Five, right? And we went to go see Fury of Five, and they were out in the parking lot in Aspen.
I feel like I'm just going to let this run because I have nothing to say about this.
Great Park, New Jersey. And they, I was talking to the bass player. I was like, you guys are so cool. You're going. He says, listen, it's really nice talking to you, kid, but I got to go work. What do you mean go to work? You just came from back from a tour of Europe. He's like, dude, we're not that big yet. Everybody works except the lead singer. And I'm like, what do you mean? James is mean, the lead singer, doesn't work. He's like, yeah. Well, he goes, kid, why don't you go ask him why we work and he doesn't? I'm like, I will. I'll go over there. I'll ask him. So I go over there and I ask him. I was like, the other guys are all going to work tomorrow. How come? And he looks at me right in the eye and he goes, son, it's because I live off of women. I'm like, what? Like, why would you say that proudly? And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? He said, look, it's just like this. You could live off of women your whole life. He says, what are you doing for a living, kid? I was like, well, I'm trying to be an internet tech. That's my thing. And he said, that's good. And you'll only be able to make maybe $80,000 a year at that time in the 90s, maybe $100,000 before you retire. Okay, what's the limit? That's the limit for you. What's the limit for a rock star, right? Well, yeah, millions. He's like, exactly. Will I hit that? Probably not. But she doesn't know that, does she?
That was fascinating. Sorry, Red Bull's maybe Boogie's packing beef. Well, I doubt it because he has hypogonadism, so it means he has little baby balls. I remember Wings called him during his reaction, where Wings pretty much said that he thinks that Boogie was on testosterone because testosterone is used to like fix your like sex drive and your libido. So he thinks that's why Boogie was on testosterone, because Boogie's claiming he's on testosterone. Like, this is the biggest problem. He claimed he stopped it last November because he claimed that's what gave him cancer. And then earlier this year, he was talking about it, about it in preparation for the boxing match. And then he was talking about it again a couple live streams ago, I think it was now, where he mentioned it. And then he recently put up on Twitter that he's thinking about getting back on testosterone again, so he can build muscles, so he can lose the weight. Which is just, he does not need to build muscles to lose weight. That is just ridiculous. I agree with Wings. I think it is likely because of the fucking sex drive.
Potential. You're absolutely right, Boogie. So as soon as that girl thinks you have potential, marry that bitch, because she probably fucking figured you wrong anyway. There you go. Did you agree with me, Wings? I think that guy's onto something. You marry, if a girl thinks you got something going on, if she thinks you will make money, if she thinks you will be successful, if she thinks you will, you're gonna get her like that.
You want a woman that builds, but I'm from South Carolina.
Baby balls and small dick is the reason he's like this. I'm kind of, yeah. Yeah. He has like, he likes to say, like, because he changes it all the time. He's like, you know, he has anxiety disorders, he can't talk to people, he can't do social things or anything like that. But then he, like, when he talked to the woman during, like, the Clum documentary live stream, he talked about his unchecked confidence with women. He also says he gets women because he just treats them like humans, even though, like, the second he spoke to a woman, it's, like, about getting him back to his bed, pretty much. I don't know. It does feel like he is just, like, making up for something. Because he is, like, so creepy and obsessive. He said it's because of past trauma, which is certainly, it is an option available to it. But the biggest problem with Boogie is he is so inconsistent with his claims that it is really hard to, like, kind of nail it down to something. But if he's, like, medically diagnosed with hypogonadism, I'm assuming he is just, like, making up for having a tiny pecker.
Like, if I had to live off a woman, I'd probably off myself.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that was awkward. Thanks.
Oh, wait, Keem's gonna fucking ream you out. I can't wait, Boogie.
Oh, did you see this? Did you see this in the did you see this in the LolCowLive chat?
Yeah, I can't talk about it because you won't let me.
No, let's talk about it. No,
you want to talk about it now? Do you want to talk about it now?
Yeah, Muda says we can. Muda says we can. Muda says we can. Let's go.
Muda says we can. Okay.
Yeah, Muda says we can.
Okay, fine. Can we be friends again now, Boogie?
Oh, God.
I was really mad at you. Okay.
I understand.
I'm going to Shiber shake on it. Okay. Here's what I know. I'm going to start this off calm so it doesn't get, like, out of fucking control. All right.
Yeah.
You said to me, I was going to bring up...
Let Wing say. Let Wing speak.
Like Mudahar.
This is only the 4th time he spoke the entire podcast.
You've had some problems. You've had some issues with Mudahar, right?
Yeah. I'm scared shitless. I'm scared shitless of that guy.
So, and tell us what you told me before. You compared Mudahar fan base to, like, you're afraid, like, one of Mudahar's...
No, I'm just afraid. I'm afraid of crazy people doing crazy shit. And, like, when
my God, he's a fucking lunatic. He is actually insane. I remember during the Boogie Expose video where he tried to expose Sam and Tolkien, he said that they had doxed him by confirming he wasn't actually swatted, because they checked and they said he wasn't actually swatted, but there was a welfare check carried out in this day. And he goes, oh, well, now you can check where the welfare check was carried out, and that means they inadvertently swatted me, and now people are going to show up at my house with a gun. And then the time when he claimed the trolls showed up at one of his panels, he claimed that he's had security search them because he was worried they might have a weapon to try and hurt him. Just this nonsense that he brings up constantly.
But he's as big as Mudahar. He's got like 10 million followers, and he gets like 5 million views on a video.
So?
He's really mad at me. Like, he'll tell you...
He's really mad at me. He's like so upset. I don't get upset. I'm not upset about anything, but Muda's like triggered or something like that. God, we know how this ends, and it's fucking hilarious.
Publicly, he has said it publicly. He thinks I'm the worst piece of shit, and he wishes the worst for me. And he'll say that a million times, right? He's tweeted.
He wishes the worst. I've never seen Muda tweet, I wish the worst for you. I've never seen that before.
Several times this last week, and
I just saw it cut it. You missed off the second recording.
Yeah, the desktop audio thing. I turned it off on the first recording. Then when we restarted it, it turned the desktop audio back on, and I just noticed it.
Well, we can. If we need to start over, that's fine. We'll start over with fucking talking about Muda first.
Do that whole fucking thing again.
That's okay. I'm in a better headspace anyway. Let's do it.
Don't.
I didn't talk that much, so like it could.
Well, you know what? We'll keep it going. We'll send it.
I do know what I guess that is actually the one saving grace is that Wings basically was an NPC during this entire thing.
Cool. Okay.
Something
Yeah.
like
That's
that. So let's nobody fucking hit stop. Nobody.
I haven't.
You haven't. Have you hit stop, Boogie?
No, I haven't.
Wings?
No, I haven't hit
Wings?
stop. I paused.
Let's just fucking write it out.
I paused the desktop audio like 4 minutes
All right,
ago.
let's go back. Let's start with Mudahar again. Let's scratch that whole fucking thing. I'm going to ask you about Mudahar again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's how I'm going to open it up. All right. Okay. So in the beginning, me and you got a big fight, Boogie, before the cast started, and it was about Mudahar.
The podcast is a non-starter. See, I feel like podcast is a non-starter, but however, let's also be generous, okay? Me, you, all you guys watching, kind of special, aren't we? We're kind of all a bit special when it comes to the Boogie thing, aren't we? We're all kind of like, Boogie watchers. We kind of keep an eye on the whole Boogie verse. We know you guys have watched my live streams talking about it recently. I've given you lots of information. So the information we're being given here is not new to most of you people because you watch like my videos and I watch Boogie. And I keep an eye on him and everything like that. Okay, so for us, it's not overly interesting, but try to remember, for the vast majority of people, they do not follow me. They don't follow Boogie that closely. They probably don't follow Johnny Fox or anyone else who talked about Boogie. I don't know. I think, honestly, me and Johnny Fox, I think we're the two people who talk about Boogie. So I think for like, normal people, and yes, we're not normal people. I'm sorry to break it to all of you guys. We are not normal people. But I think for normal people watching this, if normal people ever decide to watch this, they might get something from this, because they might be sitting watching and going like, oh, I didn't know about this. Oh, I didn't know about this. So maybe, maybe we are too special Maybe we are too special. Take special however the fuck you want it. Maybe we are too special to really get into this.
Which I agreed to, and then you had a bunch of other fucking stipulations.
Well, no, I just wanted you to be nice. I just wanted you to be nice to my girlfriend. That was it.
Fuck your girlfriend. How about that? All right, here's you wanted that's neither here fucking either near or there. So you told me that you were gonna walk with Mudahar had anything to do with this because apparently you guys are having.
Brent, you're such a sassy bitch. We're nearly done, actually.
Behind the scene, like what the fuck? And you're telling me that he's as crazy or his fans are potentially as crazy?
No, well, so
really?
I have paranoia issues. I think we all agree with that.
I agree with that.
And
I love that Boogie keeps going to this thing. It's like, I'm scared people are going to show up my house. And Boogie, firstly, is the only person I've ever seen online who has directly challenged someone, please show up at my house. And then when that person did actually take them up on that challenge, Boogie was the one with the gun. I can't believe Boogie still goes this like, I'm so scared of people coming and hurting me. When Boogie is like, came out with a gun to some random dude who was going to sissify him. I can't believe that Boogie is still trying to play this game where he's like, they're coming for me, guys. I'm so scared. No one believes it anymore.
It comes along with the
runaway pussy. I still always think that's funny because no one ever really includes that when they're talking about Boogie with Frank Castle. That when Frank Castle did decide to leave after the warning shot, Boogie's like, that's it. Yeah, runaway pussy. Yeah, oh, you being a pussy now? Like trying to be a big man, trying to like entice Frank to come back or something like that. Trying to like, I don't know, be the alpha dog. It was the cringest shit ever.
Other stuff. Muta's been mad at me for like years, rightfully so, because I've been a manipulative piece of shit. Like I'll be the first to admit that, right?
Okay.
And so like in the last couple,
but even though you got pissy earlier on with Tommy C calling you manipulative, do you see how stupid this is?
Couple of weeks, Muda has.
What is the Muda drama? Muda called Boogie before. Muda is incredibly soft on Boogie. This is the thing I find hilarious. Muda is incredibly soft on Boogie. Boogie like called him out right after the DMs leaked. He randomly only called out Muda in a group chat of like 10 people. I'm just saying, he called out the only person in there who wasn't white for some fucking reason, and he went after Muda, and he just decided to try and shit on Muda, and Muda then responded to him, and then Boogie was like, oh, why are you bullying me? Stop us, are you punching down? Just the usual shit Boogie does. And he acted like Muda was upset and going crazy and after him, and it's like, Boogie, you literally only called him out of everyone there whilst running defense for Keem. And Muda called him out, and then Boogie immediately went, well, I got bad news to do with my health today. Everyone's picking on me. Please ceasefire. And then Muda was just like, okay, fine, ceasefire. However, just so you know, you started this, but I do hope you feel better soon. Because Muda is quite soft on Boogie. And then Boogie kept going, I guess, in DMs, and then Muda stopped responding to him, so Boogie started DMing Mudahar's wife. And then pretended he doesn't know who Mudahar's wife is, even though he was on a podcast with her.
Definitely decided that I'm like not a great person, and he's like tweeted. I mentioned him on Twitter because of all this group chat shit that leaked, and so he was like, "You're the worst kind of person. I think you're manipulative.
You're the worst kind of. You're the worst kind of person." Guys, I know I'm Irish, so I'm not the greatest at English, but I don't say you're the worst kind of person.
I'm open about it. I only wish the worst for you, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't say I only wish the worst for you as well.
And that's fine. He's entitled to his opinion.
And yes, as Mark says, Boogie quote retweeted the DM leak and showed it to his fan base. And then acted like Muda made it public. Even though it was a DM leak, so Muda did not make that public. And Boogie shared it to his own fan base and then blamed Muda for making it public.
When did he say that? Did he say that before or after he started fucking DMing his girlfriend?
It was after. It was a week, like right after the
girlfriend.
Well, no, it was before. It was well before, like a week before.
So he said you're the worst. You hope the worst happens to you before you.
I never saw him say that.
I think so. Yes.
I know you don't know. I know you don't know. I know you don't know. You're putting all these words in Mudahar's mouth, and you don't know.
Again, I can bring if you want me to. I can't bring up his tweets because we got each other blocked.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, his tweets basically said, "Look, I'm very open about how much I hate you, what a manipulative piece of shit I think you are, and that you deserve everything that's ever happened to you." I think that's a direct quote.
Okay.
I don't think so, but go off, sis.
No, it didn't hurt my feelings.
I think so. And now it's then he like backpedaled on it, but then he's giving direct quotes. He thinks so.
It scares the shit out of me. It scares the shit out of me.
How does that scare the shit out of you that he's venting to you privately? That's so ridiculous.
No, that was public. That was public.
Have you been
swatted? You're confused.
Yeah, because you started it.
Using the things he said privately and what he's tweeted publicly.
Answer Wings.
And so,
Answer Wings.
When you have an audience of like 10 million people and you're with...
He ignored Wings. Wings asked him if he'd been swatted and he fucking ignored him. Oh, because I was waiting to see what he said there. Because he claims that welfare checks are swattings. which is just simply not true, especially when Boogie does routinely, like, end himself bait. That sounds like masturbate, doesn't it? When you try and not say the actual S word. Like, when he says he's going to self-delete, I will go with that. Like, and he actually, like, you know, it is actually understandable someone calling a welfare check on him when he's doing that shit online. The Quartering called a welfare check on Boogie. And Boogie went nuts on him and exposed him online and was sitting ranting about him, saying he sent a murder machine to my front door when I was thinking about anything, and I never even thought that. I was just saying that to him, you know, hoping he'd understand and talk to me, you know, like a teenage girl, like trying to guilt the person into like being, oh, are you okay, buddy, by saying you're wanting to end yourself. And he got upset that fucking Jeremy called a welfare check on him.
Wishing the worst for somebody, that's really scary for me. That's just really scary for me. And so I DM'd Muda and I tried to say, like, look, man, I just wish we could...
Oh, my God. He can't just let sleeping dogs... Like he actually asked for ceasefire. Muda was like, okay, sure, whatever. And then he starts DMing Muda. Like, they're breaking his own fucking ceasefire. Like, I'm so sorry. But, like, I just love that he just ignored Wings. Wings asking, did he get swatted? He just ignored that.
Leave each other alone. And he agreed, which I thought was awesome. And then 2 days later, I pulled a classic Boogie, and I was promoting a video, and Keemstar's like, you need to talk about this, you need to talk about this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'll mention it in the tweet. I'm like, hey, after that group shot leaked, I thought it'd be good to let my girlfriend speak for herself. So here's a video of her speaking for herself instead of Keemstar and Mudahar and everybody else, right? And Muda's, I guess, girlfriend or wife, I think wife. He's telling me wife.
I thought it was girlfriend. I did a podcast with her. Yeah.
But apparently she saw that. And I didn't know who she was.
Sure,
I don't know who Dojangles is, but I guess that's a person.
He got me a subscriber. I guess it's he has been on her podcast. This is Boogie just being a liar. This is just Boogie manipulating, lying, changing facts. He has been on her podcast. Oh, I don't know who. I guess it might be. So I'm not sure. He did it deliberately. So just by chance, Boogie picked the one person. Like as Muda said himself. Oh, by chance you picked the one person who is like my spouse out of everyone to DM about this.
Yeah.
And so she was like, oh my God.
Is that Mike Klum in the video? Yes, it is.
You fucking snake, you fucking piece of shit, and whatever. And so, like, Mudahar messaged me, and he's like, hey, look, I'm being really nice to you right now. And I've agreed, I'm not going to make a video about you because I wouldn't want a 10 out of 10 video on my channel anyway, but I do think you're worthless. I do think you're a piece of shit. I don't think you should be fucking mentioning the stuff. You asked for a ceasefire, and then you went back. That's a shitty thing to do, Boogie. Don't do that shit.
True.
But I got a DM.
I love that Boogie's entire rundown of this is, oh, I did a Boogie. And then you're expecting noise to play in the background. Like he thinks it's like goofy and charming that he was the one who started a fight, then cried he was being bullied, then they tweeted about his health to ask people to leave him alone and stop bullying him. They said, okay, fine, cool. I hope you feel better soon. And then he then calls them out again. Like he calls them out again. And then he like loses his mind and acts like they're being unreasonable and a dickhead. Bro, like, and he thinks like, oh, that's just me being goofy. Oh, I did a Boogie. Whoopsie. He got me a subscriber.
Now there's been posted in the chat that's saying this fucking agreement never happened.
Well, I can show you. I mean, I literally have the
I can't wait.
Screen. I'll send you the screen
cap
right now.
Yeah, post him in the chat.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, because
but I told him.
Muda said we don't have a deal, lol. Muda, quick, give a person for Boogie to talk about you. He made that retarded shit up in his head. That's what he said. He said,
well, again,
bad words.
Maybe he didn't read what I said, but what I said to him, and I'll show.
Boogie, you claim some ridiculous shit about what he said, and also then his whole "I never did" that kind of shit. So I'm just not going to take Boogie's word for this until I see evidence.
What to you in the chat is I said, look, from here on out.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. So yeah, someone mentioned the Johnny Fox thing. I just remembered because like Boogie had the fucking gall because I obviously watched Boogie's Twitter. And I saw someone had tagged him mentioning the Johnny Fox thing. I think that's probably where I saw it. And they mentioned it. And I think Boogie responded and was like, oh yeah, I just heard about this. My immediate assumption is that he's making this up. I think that's what he said. It's like my immediate assumption is like Johnny Fox is like making this up. However, I've contacted him and offered to help him catch the person and offered any compassion I can. It was some like inhuman language like that. Just
Will Smith you. I'm going to keep your name the fuck out of my mouth. I'm literally looking at that right now. I'm reading it to you word for word. And so my thought process was, since I promised to do that, I should do that. And I told you today, I just didn't want to bring up Muda because Muda scares me. He scares me. He does. God. He's got a very large audience, and there's some crazy people out there. And
you have a large audience, and you have crazy people in your audience. You actually have crazy people in your audience who've like threatened to like dox me and shit like that. And if the Johnny Fox thing is to be believed, actually try to dox like people in like Johnny Fox's community and shit like that. Like, Boogie has this weird thing where he like says this about other people's like communities all the time. It's like, they've got scary people. It's like he did, like I said earlier, with the Sunny V2 thing. But like, Boogie's fan base are fucking mental as well. Like, they're actually mental because they think Boogie's a good person, so they genuinely are actually mental. The non-white man scares me. Well, yeah, you know, I'm just, yeah, I guess. Maybe he thinks like Sunny V2 is not white because he's Australian or something like that.
And I don't think Muda's. I'm not scared of Muda. Don't get me wrong. I should not say I'm scared of Muda. I'm just scared that there's a lot of people in his audience that might Frank Hassel my ass, and I don't want that shit to happen again.
But here's the thing, though.
I can't.
Frank Hassel ain't the worst thing that happened. Like, Boogie, you yourself made the Frank Hassel thing worse.
I spent $29,000 to stay out of jail. I'm a felon. So? It was pretty fucking bad.
On your own.
Boogie's felon thing is all over the place because I have him saying he says he doesn't actually know if it would show up on any searches of him. I have tweets of Boogie saying that. Also, he says the felony is gone from his record in March coming up, so in 4 months' time, he will apparently no longer be a felon.
It was pretty fucking bad. Yeah, but if somebody else shows up at my front door tomorrow, don't expect me to...
And then he starts, like, that's the thing. Wings is bringing up a solid point, that it was Boogie's fault. He starts screaming over him.
I handle it that much better. I ain't that fucking sane.
Yeah. I've been saying, like...
I'm not a very sane person. I just don't want to be...
So, then get off the fucking internet. I'm sorry, like... I think Boogie thinks this is a great defense by just saying, because he said it, I can't remember what he said it recently about, but he pretty much just said, I'm not mentally well, as like, just like a carte blanche, you can't criticize me for some shit that he did, I'm not mentally well, and it's like, boo-hoo. Bro, I don't care. I don't care that you're not mentally well. Get off the internet. Stop acting like you are like a saint descended from fucking heavens, and everyone should see you as like such a good role model, and you're so kind, and you're so incredible, and you're so amazing. But then at the same time be like, I'm insane and I just do stupid shit and I'd go out and shoot a gun in the fucking air. But it doesn't really count because I'm one street over from where the school zone technically ends. So it doesn't really count anymore. It's like, bro, like, just why? Like, my favorite bit was, I remember looking at the map and I based on like the trajectory of where he aimed, he like shot towards a church. It was like something like that. He got a shot within a few degrees of a church. Oh my god, so fucking funny. Oh Christ.
I just don't want to be put back in a situation like that. And Mudahar, I have no ill feelings towards Mudahar. I don't particularly like the guy, but I don't dislike the guy.
I have no ill feelings towards him. I dislike him. I'm scared of him. I think his audience are crazy. He bullies me. He punches down to me. Everything like that. But I have no ill feelings. He's a good guy.
He's just a guy. He's just a guy. But what I will say is Mudahar is very, very open with how much he dislikes me. And that's just hard for me to handle.
So you like picture like somebody with like a shrine to Mudahar?
Like loads of people dislike you, Boogie, but you don't like. I don't want to just sit there just like frothing in the mouth of them. It's almost like you only do it for Mudahar because Mudahar has a clout to his name that you can try and get attention of. It's like, do you remember when like H3 like called him out? Like Boogie like just kept talking about him, and he made like 3 videos in a row about H3 to try and get like H3's attention again. Because H3 talked about him like once on a podcast, but that time he went to hospital and Boogie was like tweeting like a total jackass about him. And like he just kept making like videos on H3 hoping for attention. This is just the same shit with Muda. He thinks he can get attention from H3 from Muda. That's it.
Hard in their closet.
Does Boogie hate PK or Muda more? Boogie claimed that PK were setting up the LolCow podcast a couple of months ago, and then suddenly it was Keemstar again. So it's kind of like all over the place. Yeah, it's exactly the same. He hated PK for fucking ages. Talked about how they used him for Clout, and they terrible people, and they shit talk him and everything like that. They're terrible people. They're all bad people. All that kind of shit over and over and over again. And then the fight was coming up, and they invited him to the podcast, and then he just sat there and just sucked their dick the entire time.
So as soon as he says, "Oh, I hate Boogie," let me get the AK up.
No, what I picture is the same thing I pictured like when Sniper Wolf docs Jack's film. So the same thing I picture.
You know what happened to Jack's film? Not a damn thing.
No, but listen. Right, yet he's got to live the rest of his life in that house, or he's probably going to move.
Jack's being a bitch, dude. He's overdone it. I think he's legitimately doxed it. The Jack film was being a ridiculous.
Well, the point that I'm making is this shit does not jive with my anxiety disorder. That's all I'm trying to say. It's really hard.
What I'm trying to say is you're in the chat with a person that's probably the most bullied person on the planet. Like, because I'm saying I've been.
Like this, like Tommy smiled because he's like, this is what the LolCow podcast is meant to be about. Is them sitting there crying and whining. This is what it's meant to be about. The victim Olympics going on here. This is what we want. Oh God, yeah, Winchester and the PKs were apologizing to him for he claimed that the PK fans were coming up to me at conventions and they're apologizing about how Woody, Kyle, and Taylor were treating me. They were so sorry that after everything I'd done for them, they were coming after me like that. I'm so sorry. Remember, he made the claim about how he was in a shop. And he saw a guy with an H3 sweatshirt on. And he went up and spoke to him. And then he suddenly was like, how are you doing? And the guy's like, oh, I'm fine. He's like, no. How are you actually doing? And then the guy revealed to him all like the personal troubles he was going with. And him and Boogie went on holiday. Does anyone remember that claim? This is around the time that he had fallen out with H3. Oh, it was the funniest thing. Oh, God, where is that? Oh, do I have this here? I actually might play that because that is so fucking funny. It is genuinely the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. God, where is it? Oh, Christ. Oh God, because I've been looking through my files recently to get ready for shit. Oh God, is that it here?
Story time. I know it's just going to sound like I'm blowing myself up here.
Here we go.
We're
watching this.
Point to it.
Does it?
So about a month ago, I was in the pet store, shopping around, looking around.
Oh God, here it is.
And I noticed a guy wearing a H3 sweatshirt. And he immediately recognized me, approached me, wanted to talk to me. And we did the usual fan meet stuff. Like, hi, how are you doing? Take a photo together, get to know each other, find out what they watch on YouTube and stuff. And I asked him a question. I was like, are you okay? Because it didn't seem like it was okay. And he gave me the polite answer, which was, yeah, I'm fine. And so as we were talking, I brought it back up a second time. Man, it seems like you're going through a lot. Like, you want to talk? And so we talked for a good while there in that store. And he's going through so much. I'm not going to out his life story here, but he's going through so much.
I love this so
mental
much.
Health problems, depression, anxiety, you name it. He's going through it. And I got his phone number. And we've been texting off and on ever since. And in fact, we're probably going to the Pride Parade together on his birthday here in Fayetteville. So I think that's kind of cool.
This is insane.
But the point of the story is not to just make myself sound like a good guy, because I do this kind of stuff every once in a while.
It's not to make myself sound like a good guy, because I do this all the time. I do not make myself sound like a good guy. I just do this all the time. What do you drop into? We were just randomly talking about Boogie's fake stories and like using people for clout. This is a fake story he made up about meeting some like H3 fan and how they were talking how Boogie like sensed with his magic empath abilities that the guy was depressed, and now they're going to the Pride Parade together. What OS do you use? I use Windows 7. I use Windows 7.
It's that, number one,
I love this so much.
Okay, don't be afraid to tell the truth. Yeah, you're going to annoy some people, but fuck those people. Tell the truth, have a conversation, maybe you'll make a friend.
Guys, the lesson to take from this story is tell the truth. The lesson from this story is tell the truth. I didn't remember the tell the truth part of it. That is so fucking funny.
It's cool. You might meet somebody who wants to help and make your life.
Oh God, I forgot how funny this was.
And secondly, don't be afraid to press somebody. If you feel like they're struggling, you feel like they're having issues, ask the questions. Get into their lives a little bit. Like, we don't do that anymore, and I feel like we should. I feel like we should actually be concerned about people's lives.
That's the funniest shit I forgot about. Thank you whoever brought up the PKA thing. I can't remember who it was. Was it Winchester? I think it was. I can't remember. Whoever it was, thank you very much. I forgot about that. It was just so funny. It was so funny. Did you see Drunken Peasants cover Boogie and Roof Text channel? It's annoying how they downplay a lot of what Boogie's done to make him look better than he actually is. I haven't actually, was that on the Review Text stream where him and Muda went at it? Because I haven't watched the full thing. I just watched the Snort Hogan thing so far. I was hoping I wouldn't have to watch the whole thing, honestly. So, who knows? Because I have Boogie's one. I was just going to watch Boogie's version of it. Because that's obviously all I care about. But I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I've had ATF raid my house.
But also, would you not agree that you are probably mentally healthier than me? Because I would. I would say by a lot.
I got to the point where, like, I'm hard as woodpecker lips, dude. Like,
yeah, I ain't
you get enough assault rifles pointed in your face, you kind of get numb to it.
Well, you're not as mentally fucked up as I am, so yeah, I don't care that you actually have haters. Wings actually has haters. Wings has like 30 fucking channels that repost his content every fucking day and shit all over him. And like, have Discord servers where they plan to do it, they hack his shit. Boogie? What the fuck does Boogie have? Me? Yeah, well, you might have 50 fucking people coming after you, just like DSP. You might get swatted all the time and have your shit hacked and have people trying to steal your wife and stuff like that. But I've got a fucking potato and a fox. Yeah, you can't compete with me.
I hope to be there one day, but that ain't where I am.
Sure.
You know, I hope to be a point where somebody's standing on my front door threatening my life, and I just be like,
this dude, it's like I dropped out of therapy, but I do hope to be mentally well one day.
Get the fuck out of here. I look forward to being at that point.
Close the door,
but I don't think I can do that.
That's what I'm doing. Like, I'm gonna close the closet.
See, the problem is, Tommy C just said, why don't you close like a normal person? That is just giving Boogie the thing, because I'm not a normal person. If he doesn't answer like that, I will be confused.
If you walk into my house?
No. So
you live,
for me,
definitely could smoke him, man.
If you walk into the house, you made your own bad choice.
Wow. Oh god, Wings had a video of people editing him and his wife robbing him. I remember that. That was fucking hilarious. I remember that was good. Yeah, that was crazy. See, they're crazy.
I think some people might be relate to this. You guys might not be able to. But for me, it's not somebody being on my front door that's that bad. Frank being on my front door wasn't that bad.
Well, that's because you invited him.
Of Frank was what fucked with me, and the fear that followed for the next 2 years.
Do you think he was
like, I really dropped my dogs on that one, I guess.
That's what Frank says. That's a funny thing. I guess he did say he hypnotized me or something, because lol, the meme. What is he talking? It wasn't scary that he was at my house. It was just the fear of him in what is he talking
about?
For
the next 2 years,
he hit his dog. I think he may have hit his dog.
And the third guy says, guys?
There you go. I found it again. I went and added it again just to be safe.
Still don't walk my dogs at night. I'm like, it fucks with me
Frank,
to know.
Sure.
I was gonna be a shot. I didn't know this motherfucker.
I find it so quick, Luna. I remember people talking about it. I added it before the stream.
It's a crazy thing to show up on somebody's front porch. That's crazy shit.
It's not that bad.
That's crazy shit. No, it's crazy shit to show up on someone's front door. And I've had crazy people do crazy, awful things to me.
I got a whole roll here.
Again, I'll make it very clear. Mudahar is not that person. I don't think Mudahar is that person. But I don't know.
I don't think Mudahar is going to show up at my front door. I don't think he is. You should know he is.
That there's not somebody out there who watches Mudahar that wouldn't be like, I can get clout. I can get clout by going and destroying Boogie's life.
Like, Mudahar's like a fair, like, Mudahar is not like Ethan Ralph or like Jesse Podawful or Frank Hassel or I don't know, like PPP, Nick Fuentes, like that kind of area, Bloodsporty kind of area of the internet, where like you think they might have proper super schizo fan base that might actually show up at your house, like that. Mudahar makes like crypto scam videos and stuff like that. Like, is it, one of his fans might show up? No, they probably won't. Like, just like SS Sniper Wolf, like it's more likely for her because she like is like a hot woman whose entire thing is just being a hot woman, so she might actually have like simps. So that might actually be a thing. But like Mudahar is just like he's just some dude. He doesn't have like insane people.
I can get clout by showing up on Boogie's front door. I can get clout. And I just it scares me very, very badly. And I have an anxiety disorder.
Boogie has claimed that people have shown up at his front door, like who are just fans of his, including some guy who just like randomly showed up and is like, I think we could be best friends. I want to be best friends with you because we're best friends. Like, Boogie literally made that story. He seems to have forgotten it here because like Boogie forgot that he has claimed his own fans have literally shown up at his front door before.
Shut up! You might be crazy.
But I do. I have a diagnosed anxiety disorder, and this shit's just hard for me. This shit's just hard for me, man. That's all I'm saying.
That's why you come here to vent.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the part of the LolCow podcast where they rattle pill bottles at each other.
Come on, every fucking middle-aged housewife has anxiety disorder. I do as well.
But let me give full credit to Muda, okay? Muda has, since
god, thanks,
last
Wings.
week, he has done an excellent...
Honest to God, I think I would have, like, I don't know, thrown myself out my window. It's ground floor window, so it would have been fine. It just would have been a very bad inconvenience. If I had to watch this, then it was just Tommy and Boogie. Like, Wings just pops in occasionally to ask, actually, like, pressing questions, like a swatting thing, which Boogie totally ignored, or to say a funny joke. Like, Wings has definitely come across best from this.
Job of taking it up with me personally instead of publicly, and I think it's fucking awesome that you're doing that, Muda. And I don't care whatever horrible shit you've got to say to me, Muda, I'll let you say it. I'll give you my number. You can call me and say that shit to my face as much as you want.
What did you say to Dojangles? Like, obviously that probably got it under his craw. Like, what were you talking? Because
I love you. I love you. Hello, Dojangles. Do you realize that I was abused and I've been victimized my entire life? And I'm also rich. Would you shit on my chest? I'm not sure if anyone's heard. What the fuck was that guy's name? I can't remember. I have it saved somewhere. Some guy, Jeff Holiday, I think it is. Some guy came out and was suddenly claimed, Oh yeah, I remember one time Boogie was near me and he was being weird, but I took lots of acid and was being cool, and he was like weirded out by me because I was really cool and on acid. But then my girlfriend told me that he had gone up to her and said, "You're hot, I'm rich. Will you shit on my chest?" It was something like that. It was something like that. And I don't know how much I believe Jeff Holiday when he's doing this whole "I'm super cool. If you guys were there, you guys were there. I was like doggy paddling through the womb of the universe on acid." Some nonsense like that. So I don't know if it's real or not. I don't think Boogie's ever been into shit play. I don't know if he ever would walk up to a woman and say, "Do you want to shit on my chest?" But who knows? Maybe he's being Andy Kaufman. But it seems a bit weird.
What's wrong? And he says he's talking about.
Oh God, I forgot about that. That was a couple days ago.
He wouldn't elaborate.
He was afraid to boogie with
I said to her,
I
don't think so. I said to her, "Hey, when you're right, you're right. Keemstar told me to capitalize on this and it would be fine. I didn't want to make a video about it though, so I thought a tweet wouldn't be upsetting to Mudahar. My mistake. I shouldn't be bringing it back up." And I told Keemstar that just a minute ago.
That's all you said to Dojangles. That's all you said to her.
No, I mean the conversation went on, but it continued. I said,
I mean, the conversation went on, but it did continue. What?
He said, "We were in the car. I didn't see it. I saw it. He didn't."
Sorry, Abigail.
I said, "Yeah, I'm grateful for that." And like I said, I didn't really think that tweet was something to give a shit about.
Can you summarize the
the summary is, I thought I was having a conversation with a completely different person until she said we were in the car. And I'm like, oh shit.
No, you didn't. Oh my God. Could you think of like a better lie, or just not be creepy and not like DM some guy's wife because you're having an issue with him? This is why I say about Boogie and his weird relationship with women. You know, like anyone, any guy, not the ladies here, any guy. When you're arguing with a man, would you ever think, "I'm gonna go and start texting his wife to talk about this"? Would anyone think that? Like, that's fucking weird. Like, what the? Like, it's so. I don't know why he thought that was okay to do. And it's just to do with his weird relationship with women. Like, I don't know a single guy who would think that. Like, guys settle things themselves. You know, it's a guy thing. Talk to me, man to man. I'd never be like, "I'm going to ask this guy's wife why he's not talking to me." I've never thought of that.
I even here's one of the lines, and let me read this because I think it's really important.
Is that why Boogie was waving hundreds of the ring girls? Yeah, Wings said that Boogie, despite getting with Des 2 in, when did he claim it was? April? Like March or April, he waited till she was 19 and mysteriously got with her that second. Very, very unusual. But Wings claimed that he showed up at the boxing with a different woman who was not Des 2, so kind of suspicious there. And apparently he was going up with $200 in hand, flirting with each of the ladies. No, Jugget, June is when she moved in. Like, June, I think, is when she moved in. But he has claimed different things at different times. I think he has claimed he was with her in April. Because he claimed that he had been dating her for, I think it was like 6 months or something like that. At the time of the documentary coming out, it was like 6 months. I have to check, because like I said, he's given different times, different dates and everything like that. So I have to check.
Voicemail?
No, this is text. This is on Twitter.
Of course, she's showing her boyfriend that shit. Fucking Boogie 2988.
Yeah.
I literally said to her, I said, "I don't know if you're close to Muda, but he made it clear that he felt that way about it. Thanks for trying to warn me that he would." And I didn't know you're married to this person. I didn't know you're friends with this person.
Like I said, he's been on her podcast. He knows who she is. This is just creepy. It's just creepy that he is pretending he doesn't know who she is. Like people couldn't instantly point out you were on her podcast.
Engaged,
he said February 2. Yeah, he claimed February because he claimed it was in like December, I think it was. They started texting on Snapchat, which is obviously a bit more of an intimate level than Instagram. Also weird that he wanted it so they could send pictures easily to each other and they're auto-deleted. Kind of suspicious. But then he said February is when she admitted she had feelings for him. So I don't know. And like I said, I wonder if it said February and he waited like a month until she was 19 because he made a big 20 because he thought 19 was maybe too weird.
Yeah, so like I fucked up. I fucked up really bad. Like I super fucked up.
Well, I will say this. I'm gonna defend you a little bit. I'm gonna defend you. She's in the drama game now, like full force. She's got a podcast. She's game to be criticized like everybody else. She can't. And I don't think she wants to. I know her a little bit. I kind of like her. I don't think she wants to be Mudahar's girlfriend. And then live under that protection. She can stand on her own fucking too.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still.
Well, she can, but I think the thing Tommy doesn't understand is that it is just weird. Why would you DM her? Like, why would you DM her and say, "Well, he's fighting with me"? Yes, did she like tweet at him and like shit on him? Yes, but it's creepy. He starts DMing her about his fight with Mudahar. It's just, why would you do that?
I appreciate you defending me, but I still think it's. If I had known. Like that wasn't welcome, I obviously won't do it. Now that I know it's not welcome.
If she was shit talking you, like you probably should just know it's not welcome for you to talk to her. Like, isn't that, like, obvious? Like, she shit talks you because you're just being a fucking weirdo. And it's like, well, if I knew she didn't want me randomly DMing her.
I blocked Dojangles. She'll stay blocked. That's it. It's over. I will never interact with her again, right? Like, once I know that that's what you want me to do, that's what I'll fucking do.
After this.
Well, you can, but I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, I don't know, Mudahar, and again, I'm sorry, Muda, if you got to say whatever you got to say, I understand. But Muda really dislikes me. And I don't like thinking like a Frank House will show up my front door way. But it's scary for me. I'm not used to anybody being that upset about my antics. I'm not used to somebody being just open about
people being that upset. Boogie has to phrase everything like everyone else is mad. Everyone else is mad on the internet. Everyone else is upset. Everyone else is so triggered, and he's not, guys. He has to do it every single time.
How much they
you never went to your own Reddit?
Yeah.
Those people were all anonymous, though, and they didn't have 10 million followers. That's the difference.
What?
Yeah, that's the difference.
You should fight him.
Yeah, but it's like the anonymous people with like are the ones, especially ones he says want clout. Like, shouldn't they be the ones that you're like more afraid of? Like anonymous people who want clout. Wouldn't that be like something to be more afraid of than Mudahar, who has millions of followers, who has a brand, and if he like showed up at your front door, people would think he was mental and probably would stop watching him.
All right. Hey, listen,
shit, he would win.
If we get this episode out, I think future episodes will cover.
Wings, listen. If you can beat my ass, I know Mudahar can. Shit, I'm fucked.
Come on, I can beat
Mudahar. Did he call him Mudahar?
Mudahar's.
Wings, listen. If you can beat my ass, I know Mudahar can. Shit.
Mudahar.
I'm fucked.
Come on, I can beat Mudahar's ass.
Even he said Mudahar now.
No, you can't. No, fuck no.
Dude, like, what? The dude's a tech guy. Like, come on, he ain't about that life.
You're a 400-pound morbidly obese gamer. He's a tech guy. He's not about that life. Are you, Wings? Like, I realized I watched Wings and it was funny because he was sitting talking about it. He thinks he could beat any 400-pound man in the ring because they're all out of shape. Fine. But when you're saying, like, I could beat up Mudahar, he just needs to jog a little. He just needs to jog a little. He's a tech guy. He couldn't stand up to me. Wings. Bro, you're literally a video game live streamer. I don't think you can try and flex on anyone based on their job lifestyle.
Yeah, he ain't about it. He ain't about it like a southern boy. You're a country boy. You know what you're fucking doing. You whip his ass.
Hit him with a fucking mag light, make some teeth soup.
I don't know, man. I bet Mudahar goes. Do you think is he fat? Does he go to a gym?
Yeah, he ain't fat. But like, just because you're not fat doesn't mean you want to whoop somebody's ass.
You whip that guy, you think you whoop his ass? Oh, God, let's talk to Keem about that. I would love to see it. Hey, listen, guys. First one's in the tank. I don't know if this is going to get because Wings fucked up the audio. But
I think it's savable.
If it does, this has been a classic.
It really hasn't. Like, apparently, it sucks, and I'm worried about it because they said there's 2 filmed originally. And the first one, they said the first one, which is the one they recovered, they said it wasn't very good. So that makes me scared because that's the one they think they're going to show next. That makes me kind of scared. Especially when Tommy said that this is golden. That this is incredible. And it's just kind of okay.
At least I didn't fuck up the audio. How awesome is that?
I'm surprised. You
did. You actually did, Boogie.
You actually did. Yeah, I know what I was expecting. Oh, I didn't record it. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. It's in the can. It's good.
Then I'll apologize. How about
I just don't know why they all have to record separately. I just find that so weird. Why doesn't someone just record this? Like, why doesn't someone just record this themselves? I just find that so weird.
Thank you everybody for being a part of LolCowLive from Wings of Redemption to Boogie 2988. In the future, we'll be covering all the dramas that are going on, all sorts of freaking cool shit. So tune in.
That could be much more interesting.
The Orioles got big plans, and I guess Mudahar doesn't because we just threw him the fuck out. All right. Goodbye.
Okay. I don't know. I'll stick a poll in. I'll stick a poll in here quickly. Oh, that's not even a poll. That's a Q&A. What the fuck is a Q&A? What is a Q&A? That's not a Q. Okay, this is a poll. Okay, so there you go. Simple. Did that suck? Yes or no? Yes or no? Did that suck? So yes, it sucked. No, it didn't suck. I'll let you guys go with that for a little bit of time. This, like I said, this is my worry, is that unfortunately, this is one where they came and they said, this is golden. So they kind of set the expectation for it. And admittedly, like I said, maybe the biggest issue is this is something that I am nearly bored with myself because I have seen so much to do with it. Like, girlfriend dumps him? Like, what? Where the fuck? What's that? What is that? Now that we've watched this whole thing, this is like an Amber Lynn video. Amber Lynn, at least when she does a video, she will do a video and she'll have something like she said, my favorite one. Amber last year did one that said, risk of cancer. And everyone obviously thought, oh God, does she have cancer again? Oh my God, has cancer come back? Has she got cancer? Does she need to get checked for cancer? And she literally at one point was reading, she had got new medication, and she was reading the possible side effects, and one of the possible side effects was risk of cancer. That is the only time she mentioned it. She had risk of cancer. That is the only time she said cancer the entire video, and she put it in the thumbnail, because she's a clickbaiting dick. This girlfriend dumps him. What does that even relate to? Like, they didn't even hint at that. They didn't joke about that. They didn't say, oh, that's going to happen. It's just girlfriend dumps him. No. It's too clickbaity, especially, like I said, for people who know the situation. If you don't know the situation, you might think that's real. But it's a bit, when this is your first one, I feel you have to be a wee bit more honest, you know? Boogie talked too much. It was too much about Boogie. Boogie kind of had free reign to talk about everything. It was pretty clear he was kind of controlling Tommy C at some points to kind of like guide Tommy C away from him and to talk about points. He got me a subscriber. How could I deny that? So yeah, I'm for how long this has been in the pipe, for like how long? It's like 8-9 months. This has been in the pipe. It's kind of a bit of a wet fart to start with, but like I said, it could be solely because I know honestly too much about all this drama recently. And it's like a bit, like maybe if they start getting into like weekly topics and talking about things and talking about like current events and stuff, that could be more interesting because you kind of don't expect it. You know, as long as he tells Boogie, don't talk about any of this stuff on Twitter or on Twitch or anything like that. So it's like a fresh thing he's coming with. That could be interesting. Wings was like kind of a non-start. He didn't really interact very much at all, which is kind of unfortunate. Because anything he did, he generally give the best bit of it anytime he like interacted whatsoever. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it, guys. It's kind of heading towards 1 a.m. here, so I'm going to head to bed. The poll has ended up being 65% says yes, it sucked, and 35% no, it didn't suck. So I think it's a decent. It's about kind of a 2/3 kind of rule there for it. Yeah, like I said, maybe if we get like a fresher thing to talk about next time, it could be a wee bit more interesting. I still think they should go for live. I know someone probably is unhappy about it potentially being live because they might come out looking bad. But I think it should be done live. But yeah, that's going to be the end of it, guys. Thank you very much for coming. Hope you have a good one. Take care of yourselves now.